But is Orleans feeling good against a matchup with the top team in the East, the YD Red Sox? Hello, everybody. Welcome in a scorching start on the Birds Broadcast Network. Ian Nicholas joined alongside Dylan Pescatore after what was an ugly game yesterday against Harwich. Dylan here from Eldredge. Orleans just 1 run off 3 hits. What's the biggest cause of concern for the offense?
I think it was the strikeouts, Ian. It was upwards of 14 strikeouts, and that's not something that you can put into a winning formula if you're Orleans against top pitchers. Every single night in the Cape Cod Baseball League, you have to make contact, put balls in play, and that can make defenses make errors. So find a way to get balls in play at all costs, cut down the Ks.
Someone who's looking to up the K rate and eliminate balls in play is Orleans' starting pitcher tonight, though, Jake Peppers, the man out of Jacksonville State, making his second start on the season. Did give up 4 earned and 4 1/3 against Bourne a week ago. Where does Peppers need to be at his best tonight?
I think he has to kind of repeat the same performance, however, give a little bit more length. This is a Firebirds team that has to play 8 more days without any off days due to the rain out on Saturday. He needs a little bit more length. I'm looking for 15 to 18 outs from Peppers. 3 to 4 runs would do, but this Firebirds offense needs to get going so Peppers' quality start won't go for naught.
Peppers, his second summer on the Cape. Can he give Kelly Nicholson and crew 5 to 6 innings on the mound? Someone who's given Kelly Nicholson a length out of a bullpen, though, Derek Clark, pitched again last night in Orleans' loss and has been doing a little bit more than just throwing strikes, according to Sammy Miller.
When the going gets tough, it's important to keep the energy high and the belief strong. Now, one player who refuses to ever throw in the towel is Northwood pitcher Derek Clark. Now, last night, heading into the 9th inning, they were down 12-2, but he brought his team together in the dugout and he said, "Why not us? We are still in this." He then went on to say, "Can you smell it? I smell a comeback." That is the exact mentality the Firebirds need to have, and it really showcases how important Derek is on and off the diamond for the Firebirds. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Sammy. D2 Derek Clark just getting it done and trying to rally his team back into the win column tonight. A new addition of his team, though, Matt Hallback, reached base all 4 times yesterday and may have some bumps and bruises. Dylan, you're checking in with him, right?
That's right, Ian. I'm standing by with Matt Hallback, first baseman of the Firebirds. Matt, first question, first game last night, 3 hit-by pitches. That's never happened to you before, right?
I have never. That's never happened to me. Kind of an odd first game for me in the Cape. Wasn't really expecting it, but yeah, it is what it is.
I know the team's struggling right now on offense, but you got the broken bat single in the 9th inning to drive in the run. How can that kind of get the offense going? Not just you, but the team specifically?
Yeah, I mean, in the 9th inning, we're down a lot. I just figured, just try to scratch one across the board. So, no, I didn't hit that well, but I was able to get a hit, and maybe we can carry it today.
I'm not taking down the Big West, but now you're facing top pitchers every single night in the Cape Cod Baseball League. How is that challenge going to come to you and playing every single day against them?
Yeah, they definitely throw harder here, so just got to remember to stay on top of the ball, especially the fastballs. A lot of fastballs up, so that's the biggest difference I've noticed in the first game.
Coach Cook was throwing BP today, a lot of 0-2 counts to start as well. Is that something you've ever seen before, and how do you think that'll help the hitters on the team?
Yeah, I've seen it before. We did it a lot in my high school. I remember doing this type of drill, just teaching us to get back to competing. Not thinking too much and just competing.
Gotcha. You knew Joe Oyama. You played in the same summer league last season in the West Coast League. But how has it been making friends with the other guys?
It's been good. I mean, everyone here is super cool. And everyone here wants to be really good, which is cool for me. A lot of guys that share the same interests as me. So it's been good getting to know all these people.
I know your goal on the Cape is to put up great numbers, have a great season. But other than baseball, do you have any goals or things you want to do when you're here?
Not really. Just have fun. Have fun is one of the big things. Have fun and get better.
Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Eldredge Park, 3rd straight home game for the Birds. Sorry, dealing with some technical difficulties here on our YouTube live stream. But we'll get you up to speed. Jake Peppers, he's on the mound for his second start. Needed for a team that started the season 2-1. But has struggled from the plate since. There is an absolute rocket sent to left center, but no problem for Austin Overn. Ahead of a track makes the snag. 2 up, 2 down for Jake Peppers and company. And I'll bring up the designated hitter and someone that second baseman Joe Oyama knows well, his collegiate teammate, Anthony Martinez.
Look at Oyama's shift. He knows exactly where Martinez is going to put the ball. He's seen him in practice, in the cages, anywhere. He knows exactly where to play.
Both of them joined Cal Irvine last year. As Peppers delivers low and away and gets the whiff. Adam Martinez, who just finished up his freshman season at Cal Irvine. Oyama finished up his first year with the team after 3 years at the JUCO level with Merced College. Another strike. Peppers looking clean. A strike away from a 1-2-3 inning to set the tone for the Firebirds in the first of 6 matchups this season with YD, the team that ended its season a year ago. Pitch bounced in the dirt. And a free bag as Peppers lost control. And Martinez takes his spot over at first. They got a piece of him.
And Peppers tried to go with the changeup, and he just held on to it way too long. It bounced even before the dirt started, and that might be the hit by pitch that's hurt the least in the career of Anthony Martinez.
If there's anybody that knows being hit by pitch, it's the player that Martinez stands right next to. Matt Hallback at first. Made his Firebirds debut last night against the Mariners. Got plunked not once, not twice, but 3 times. And reached base all 4 times up. Here's Hunter Hines, one of the best players in all of college baseball. Mississippi State star. 3-run home run last night in the tie against the Commodores. Peppers on the 1-0. Check in with the infield umpire. Hines went around. Evens the count 1-1.
The changeup's been working for Peppers so far. A few swing and misses on it. He's going to rely on it all night.
Up and in. Doesn't get the call. 2-1. Hines over 20 home runs, 60 runs batted in for Mississippi State in the spring. Gets a piece of it, fouls it off. And he has been an absolute force here in the Cape Cod Baseball League, hitting 400, tied for the league lead in home runs, 11 runs batted in his first year of summer ball action. Runner on first is Martinez, who was plunked. We'll do it again on the 2-2.
These YD Red Sox, they've had a great offensive season so far through the first 7 games. 4-2-1 record. They lead the league in runs scored with 47. They have a lot of good bats in this lineup. It's going to be a huge test for Jake Peppers, who looks to get out of the first.
An Orleans pitching staff that was towards the middle of the pack in ERA headed into last night's game against Harwich, as that pitch on the inside corner doesn't get the call. Makes the count full. But now second lowest ERA in the league. 9th out of 10 teams after Harwich exploded for double-digit hits here from Eldredge last night. The payoff. Foul as Matt Hallback collides with the first base umpire, and he is down for a moment. An unfortunate collision between Matt Hallback and first base umpire Ryan DeMare. We have seen too many wild plays at first base this season, Dylan. First it was Aiden Longwell, no longer with the team, who tripped on the first base bag against Hyannis to start the year and injured his ankle there. Hallback, though, seems to be okay, which is what you like to see. Yeah,
good sign. 3 hit by pitches, like you said, Ian, yesterday, and got the hit to end it, and now a collision with the umpire. What is it being an umpire at first base? Last night, a pickoff throw hit one of the umpires.
Another payoff pitch. Infield pop-up. Drew Farrow in the outfield originally had it, but now lets the center fielder Austin Overn collect his second put out of the inning. Jake Peppers lost control for a moment with a hit by pitch to Martinez, but retires 3 of 4 Red Sox to get out of the first inning clean. You'll find out who's pitching for YD and how Orleans could potentially exploit that matchup when we come right back in the Birds Broadcast Network in the bottom of the first.
What Cape home design will you dream up? For over 16 years, Cape Dreams Building and Design has specialized in building custom homes for clients across Cape Cod. Our core values of honesty, integrity, and quality work are what separates us from other Cape builders and help us make your dreams of your next new home a reality. From new construction to additions and renovations, contact Cape Dreams today or visit our website at capedreamsbd.com.
Back from Eldredge Park on a beautiful Monday night. Dylan Pescatore and Nicholas. Let's go through the lineup for the Orleans Firebirds this evening, who have their first opportunity on offense. Austin Overn leads off. Jack Penny bats second. Fenwick Trimble batting third. Eddie Micheletti DHing. Batting cleanup, Matt Hall back in the lineup. Second night in a row. Joe Oyama, Eddie King, Henry Hunter behind Vidish, and Drew Farreau round things out. Meanwhile, for YD defensively, everything built around the 6'8" pitcher from Louisiana Monroe, Nick Judas. Will King behind Vidish, Hunter Hines at first, Casey Cook at second, Dub Gleed at third, Max Vieira rounds out the infield at short, Ryan Stafford in left, Jacob Jenkins Cowart in center, and Nathan Archer from Bowling Green in right. Dylan, this is a big man on the mound, and he reminds you of somebody.
That's right. Tall man throwing hard from the right side, a huge extension. And you got to think out of the right side, that leg, that extension that he has. It's almost like he's throwing it from 55 feet with how he extends his arm and his legs so long. It's like 60% torso and then the rest 40%. But such an extension, he almost reminds you of Tyler Glass now from the Rays, a tall, hard-throwing righty that can drop the hammer on you at any time as well.
Nick Judas, he's got major league potential. Expected to be the first Louisiana Monroe player drafted in the first 10 rounds of the MLB draft since 2005 next month. Just finished up his senior season at ULM. Got a fastball that got up to 91 to 95 miles an hour on average this past season and has touched 100. Austin Overn leads off. Did not start last night, but came in as a defensive replacement midway through the game and takes a ball, 1-0. Dylan, you think this could be Overn's big night?
That's right, Ian. I really like how Overn continues to work hard. He's got 5 more days here until he goes to Team USA. He got invited, and as he should. He put up a great season at USC this season, his freshman year. But 5 more days with the Firebirds, looking to really make it count.
Hit over 300 as a freshman with the Trojans in the spring. Was an all Pac-12 player and also on the all Pac-12 defensive team. Has had his ups and downs from the plate with Orleans, although over the last few games he has found a way to reach via the base on balls. 5 of them. Leads, Orleans, and walks. Ahead in the count 3-0. And there's a pitch on the inner half that lands for a strike. Judas, his second start of the season. Trying to avoid handing out a free pass. He does not. Misses upstairs, a 5-pitch walk. That was the problem for Judas in his first start. Handed out more walks than he struck out batters in his last appearance for YD.
It was 4 innings, 1 run, 1 hit, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. The 2-pitch mix, maybe a changeup here and there, but it's mostly fastball slider for Judas.
Only handed out 15 free passes in the spring and 53 innings pitched. Overn on the move. King trying to gun him down. He does not. King, he's got a cannon. Threw out 42% of runners that tried to steal on him during his sophomore season at Eastern Kentucky, but Austin Overn is no average base runner.
No, he's not. He beat that throw by, the throw was maybe at the mound when he was safe. He had a great jump, good speed, and now is in scoring position for Orleans.
3rd stolen base and 4 attempts for Austin Overn, as once again missing high is Judas to the second man in the order, Jack Penny.
6 pitches so far for Judas, only 1 a strike.
Judas not really a full-time starter during his time with Louisiana Monroe. He started the last 3 games of the year. Before that, he was coming out of a bullpen. Fouled off. Jack Penny, Dylan, he's really found his stride recently for Orleans.
And everyone I talk to, whether it be some of the scout liaisons or coaches, they love Penny's swings in batting practice, and it's kind of been translating to the game. He's gotten on a little bit of a hot streak in the last few.
A 3-game hitting streak to be exact. 5 for 18 from the plate here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Doesn't swing at the 2-1 because he gets ahead in the count. Even bigger, 3-1. Only 1 strike thrown from Nick Judas compared to 7 balls. Fenwick Trimble on deck. 1 on, nobody out. Fouled off. Penny did deal with a late season injury at Notre Dame, where he's a rising junior. Dislocated shoulder, which knocked him out of ACC tournament play. But has refound his timing and gained the trust of many, including Kelly Nicholson, who shot him up to the top of the lineup over the past couple days. He's played in every game for Orleans, just like Austin Overn, who leads off second. But he does fan and wave at a pitch that gets by him. First strikeout, the fastball, retires Penny.
Everything looked good in that at-bat for the Firebirds. You get into a 3-1 count. A good swing on a fastball that Penny just misses. He fouled it straight back. But just too powerful was that heater from Judas. Now it's up to Trimble. Over and started at second. Now it's 3 chances for the Firebirds. Now down to 2 to get him in.
Trimble, the rising junior out of James Madison. First pitch swinging. Fouled off to Whitey's dugout. Trimble had a great start to the season for Orleans. Was 3 for his first 10 from the plate. In a bit of a slump, 0 for his last 7. But had a monster sophomore season with James Madison. Hit over 300 with double-digit home runs. Judas, the 0-1. In for a strike on the inner half, 0-2.
It was a tough day at the plate yesterday for the Firebirds. 14 strikeouts. Not a winning strategy, not something you can do and expect to win a game. Got to have more balls in play, and especially with Overn on the bases, a ball in play would do wonders here.
14 strikeouts for Orleans yesterday. As one of the better pitching staffs in the league, Harwich went to work. Up and in for a ball. Trimble still behind.
Not only were the strikeouts from a hitting standpoint an issue, but the walks from a pitching standpoint was also a problem.
9 walks. Double-digit hits Harwich had. But as Kelly Nicholson said after the game, you cannot compete in this league if you're handing out that many free passes. Judas scares over and back to the bag. 16 stolen bases for the LA native during his freshman season with USC. The mitt on his left hand. Judas is 1-2. Popped up in play. Right underneath it is Max Vieira at short. Backs up a bit. And the Seton Hall man makes the snag 2 away.
Another at-bat with runners in scoring position that the Firebirds don't get anything out of. And now it's down to Micheletti with 2 outs. Less ways to move runners over with 2 outs and get them in. A single always does the trick, though.
Micheletti, if there's anybody you want in this spot, he's definitely one of the main guys for Kelly Nicholson's team. His 3 runs batted in, tied for first on the Birds through 6 games. Gets ahead 1-0.
That was one of the first looks we got at the slider from Judas. If that slider is playing, I mean, almost unhittable we're talking about with Judas and his stuff.
Expected to be a bullpen guy in the major leagues if he can get there with 2 pitches. But if he can unlock that slider, some team could look at him next month with his ability as someone who could start just like he is right now for Scott Pickler's team. Scott Pickler and Kelly Nicholson, they've had some great battles over the years in this East Division. YD ended Orleans' season a year ago in the first round of the playoffs.
That's right, a sweep.
And in the 5 times that these two have met since Kelly Nicholson took over as manager of Orleans in 05, Scott Pickler's team has taken down Nicholson's 5 times in the playoffs. The 2-0 pitch, low and in, ball 3. Micheletti has a lot of options here with a good count. But 2 outs.
Usually not a proponent of swinging 3-0, but with how this offense has been going, I don't think a swing 3-0 could hurt, especially if it's a strike.
Judas has struggled to throw strikes. Only 7 on 18 pitches. And he struggles there too. A 4-pitch, 2-out walk. The second walk handed out by Judas in 2/3 of an inning. And already a mound visit for Yarmouth-Dennis, as Judas, in his second start with the team, continues to struggle with control.
Now a huge at-bat for the man who just played his first game last night. A bit of a weird one. You heard him in the pregame show. As I talked with Matt, he said that he's having a great time so far. A game that he's never kind of experienced. But he said he's up to the challenge. He's facing top guys every single night. He admitted that the guys here that he's facing are throwing harder than he's seen in the Big West over at UC San Diego. He's going to have to catch up to some high velo here. Hopefully, just like his last at-bat back in that 8th inning of last night.
A lot of Big West guys in the lineup for both teams, given the fact that both Kelly Nicholson and Scott Pickler, California guys. But you also have the opportunity to face a big 6'8" righty from Louisiana Monroe, who's headed to an MLB team. Lots of great names out here in Cape Cod. Hallback, first pitch swinging, 0-1. Spent last summer with the Wenatchee Apple Sox of a West Coast League, where he hit over 300 and was teammates with current Firebird Joe Oyama. Over and on second, Micheletti on first, both walked. Hallback swings again and misses. 0-2.
That's the slider. If the Firebirds hitters are locking in on the fastball and the slider just drops in there, it's just so hard to hit with how Judas tunnels the ball and how it stays on the same plane for so long.
Only 3 hits for Orleans all of last night, still in search of its first tonight, as Hallback keeps fighting. Did drive in a run with his only at-bat last night, but didn't end in a hit by pitch, which scored Austin Overeem in the late stages. And Overeem on the bases again, and in scoring position. 2 on, 2 out, no balls, 2 strikes. Judas tries to work out of a jam, and he does. Not the cleanest of innings from Nick Judas, but the big righty works through traffic, keeps things scoreless after 1. We'll be back in the top of the second on the Birds Broadcast Network in just a few. Top of the second from Eldredge Park. 3rd straight home game for Orleans. Trying to get back in the win column for the first time in 4 games. Dylan Pescatore, Ian Nicholas on the call. Dylan, a really good opportunity for the Firebirds in the first inning, but Judas was able to shut things down despite 2 runners on the base paths.
I really liked what I saw. It was Overeem who walked on 4 pitches to start the inning, immediately stole second base with ease. He gave the Firebirds 3 outs to work with to drive him in from second base. However, they couldn't. And that's the issue that they've been dealing with for the past, as you said, the last 4 games, that they have not come out victorious.
Jake Peppers still on the mound, obviously, for his second inning of work. And he starts it off with a first pitch strike to the 5th man of the order for Yarmouth-Dennis. Ryan Stafford, rising junior by way of Cal Poly. Now 0-2.
The off-speed has been Pepper's bread and butter so far tonight. The fastball's been there, but what's getting the swing and miss? It's been the changeup and the slider.
On the 0-2, he gets it done again. Second strikeout for Jake Peppers. Jacksonville State, he's got some punch. the rising senior does.
Peppers looked real good. Doubled up on the changeup there, and it worked out. 2 swing and a misses by Stafford. That's what it takes, the inside and low with the change.
It'll be hard to strike out Will King, the 6th man of the order doing the catching for Scott Pickler's team. In every game so far this season, he has not struck out, and he's played in every single game. Something not many Cape Cod League players can say, especially playing with a wood bat. But he goes behind 0-2. First with a whiff, then looks at one on the lower third. King, the rising senior from Eastern Kentucky, takes the ball.
Good spot from Peppers, looking for King to expand the zone. Like you said, Ian, great plate discipline from King.
2nd in the entire league in batting average. The Cape Cod League, that is. Grounds one foul. Scooped by Penny. Still 1-2. What do you think of a no batting gloves approach from Will King?
Rare. Definitely rare and uncommon. However, I see how he approaches the plate with 2 strikes. He chokes up on the bat. It's something a lot of hitters, a lot of pure hitters do. It works. Clearly works for him.
Stays alive with the barehanded swing. 1-2. And it's worked for him in college, too. He was an All-ASUN 2nd team selection in the spring. He was on the National Catcher of the Year watch list for the Buster Posey Award. Still choking up behind 1-2 with 1 out as he sends a high fly to center. Austin Overn doesn't need to move around too much. He's in the right place at the right time for the 3rd fly out in his direction in under 2 innings. 2 away here in the 2nd.
It's real hard to hit one out to center, as we all know. 4-3-4, the sign in center. And Overn, if you want the ball to go to anybody, why not him? Great defensive player.
Over a .970 fielding percentage as a freshman at USC. There's another high fly to left, ranging to his left. Eddie King Jr. is able to make the play. A lot of athleticism in the outfield for Kelly Nicholson's team. And it helps Jake Peppers go 1-2-3 in the top of the 2nd. Casey Cook retired on 1 pitch there to end a half inning of play. Still scoreless. We go to the bottom of the 2nd on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 2nd from Eldredge. Ian Nicholas, Dylan Pescatore on the call for the Birds Broadcast Network. A lot of athleticism in the outfield, Dylan, and it certainly helps out Jake Peppers in the top of the frame, ending in a diving snag from Eddie King in left.
A great play from Eddie. He just needed a little bit of a ball that's a little bit too far to stand up and make the regular catch. Goes over, shows off what he's got. It's the speed, the diving play. And hopefully that can get the offense going for Orleans against Judas, their 2nd time seeing him.
Judas did allow 2 base runners to reach via walks in the 1st inning, Overn and Micheletti, but struck out Matt Holback, the 5-hitter, to get out of the 1st unscathed. He's thrown more balls than strikes through 23 pitches.
Walks are great. Walks are a great way to get traffic on the bases, but if you can't get the single, if you can't get the double to drive them in, what does it really matter? That's what the Firebirds really need to have, the single, the double, the extra base hit to get those runs in and make Judas pay for the walks that he's been offering.
Joe Oyama, the 6-hitter and number 6 on the jersey, leads off for Orleans, shows bunt, but pulled it back to take a ball. Oyama, his 3rd game with the team. A couple of his UC Irvine teammates On YD, third baseman already playing in the grass for YD. That would be Dub Gleed. You know why he knows that, Dylan? He plays collegiate baseball with him. He knows what Oyama's up to.
He knows how he works. He knows the tricks of the trade that Oyama brings.
The 1-1 is launched to right along the line. Looking up, it's foul. Joe Oyama, who blasted 7 home runs during the spring. He's had a couple good swings, Dylan, but the first big hit from Oyama has yet to come in a Firebirds uniform.
And that was almost it, right? Just right of the foul line. That would have really got the team going, and they need a hit like that. They need something to get going. Oyama almost provides it.
Oyama 0 for 4, now in his 4th game with the Firebirds. Behind 1 and 2, Judas fouled off.
And this is a guy that the Firebirds need. Yesterday was almost a little bit too easy for Armstrong out of Old Dominion for Harwich. Longer at bats, battle up there.
The 1-2 pitch, a bloop to right center. That drops for a base hit. Oyama with his speed trying to turn it into an extra base hit, and he does it standing up. First hit as a Firebird. He'll get it done in a multitude of ways, and he reaches on a double.
That's exactly what we mean, Ian, with 2 strikes, shorter swings. Oyama didn't even go all the way around on it. It was a check/half swing, still got in the right center field gap, and his speed takes him to second. This is the second time the Firebirds now lead the inning with a runner on second base and nobody out. Let's see if they can execute here. Can they get the runner across to third and in?
Austin Overton stranded on second after he walked and stole a bag to lead off last inning. Judas deals to Eddie King, who swings and misses 0-1, the rising junior out of Louisville. Made an excellent diving play in left to rob a hit from Casey Cook to end the top of the frame, trying to translate it into a good at-bat. 1 on, nobody out. Strike up and in, 0-2.
And what King has to think here is shorten up the swing, go to the right side. A ground ball to second, a ground ball to first. Gets the runner over to third.
King had a hit in his first game as a Firebird over a week ago against Hyannis, and has not had a knock since. Hit over 270, though. He's really a freshman at Louisville, considering he missed the entirety of what should have been his freshman year in 2022. And this was his first season of collegiate baseball in the spring. How does he approach the 0-2 count? Takes ball 1.
Got to inside out the ball, try to go to the opposite field here.
Coach Max Fesky, the hitting coach of his Orleans team, with a clear message before the game: be yourself in the box. What does that mean for Eddie King on the 1-2? It means ground it too short and go out with a ground out. But, as you mentioned, Dylan, do a job, get Oyama over to third, despite grounding out.
And maybe the result doesn't look great with the 6-3 in the book. However, he did his job, like you said, got the runner over. Now it's up to Henry Hunter. Infield in, find a way to get the ball in the air to the outfield.
Henry Hunter making his 4th start of the summer. The rising junior out of Alabama, Birmingham, has the highest batting average on the Birds. 3 for 9 from the plate. 0-1. Lefty on righty. Oyama on third.
We know it's not easy against Judas. However, Hunter's got to find a way. Choke up on the bat, get this ball in play, and hopefully to the outfield.
Judas began the inning with 2 more balls than strikes. He's now 19 strikes, 14 balls, starting to find the zone. Doesn't there. Misses outside, 1-1.
See if Oyama takes a big lead over at third. Maybe the contact play will be on with 1 out.
Oyama with 14 stolen bags this past season. At UCI, he's got speed for days. 1-2. Drew Farreau, the bottom man of the order, on deck. Believe this is the first time Kelly Nicholson has had the catcher not batting ninth through 7 games. Henry Hunter creeping up the batting order with a strong start to the summer. Stays alive on the 1-2, albeit he'll walk off a foul ball that might have gotten a piece of him.
Good battle from Henry. Continue to find a way to make contact. A nice blooper like Oyama. If he could do that, that would get the run in.
Orleans in search of its 6th run in the last 5 games. Another foul ball. Along at bat as Judas creeps up to near 40 pitches through 1 1/3. Was able to make it through 4 innings in his last performance 8 days ago against Catuit. The 1-2, cut on and missed. Another strikeout for Nick Judas, his 3rd in under 2 innings.
Unfortunate for Orleans there. Now it comes up to Drew Farrow with 2 outs.
Farrow without a hit in his last 3 games has a lot of raw power. The Florida State transfer. 15 home runs as a freshman with Central Florida in the spring. Shows bunt, gets a piece of it, and goes behind 0-1.
Now that would be interesting. A 2-out bunt with a runner on third. Would it be a suicide? I assume it would. And Farrow would have to make it to first in time. See if he does it again.
Oyama doubled and move over to third on the Eddie King groundout. He wants to come home, and Farrow could get him there, launching it to right and dropping out of a glove of Nathan Archer. Farrow reaches safely. Joe Oyama comes home and gets a ton of love from the Orleans dugout. The Birds go up 1-0.
That's what you want to see from Farrow. Gets the fastball middle, puts a good swing on it, and it falls right in front of Archer and right. A good sign from the 9-hitter for Orleans to get them their first lead in a few games.
An RBI single for Drew Farrow, who gets back to first.
Haven't had the lead since that Wareham game.
It's been a while, and a game that Orleans lost back on last Wednesday on the road. First lead in the last 4 games for the Firebirds. A feeling that this team desperately has been searching for. Losses to Chatham, Wareham, Catuit, and yesterday, Harwich. Back to the top of the order with Overn, who walked his first time up. Judas, the 1-0. Popped up to the infield. Once again, Vieira appears to be the man to make the play at short. He does. Inning over, but not without a run. Drew Farrow, his first hit in the last 4 games. Then it scores Joe Oyama, whose extra base hit does not go down without a score on the board. 1-0 Birds. We go to the top of the 3rd.
What Cape home design will you dream up? For over 16 years, Cape Dreams Building and Design has specialized in building custom homes for clients across Cape Cod. Our core values of honesty, integrity, and quality work are what separates us from other Cape builders and help us make your dreams of your next new home a reality. From new construction to additions and renovations, contact Cape Dreams today or visit our website at capedreamsbd.com.
Welcome back to the Birds Broadcast Network. I'm Sammy Miller. Jake Peppers is no stranger to rising to the occasion when the pressure is on. This Jacksonville State pitcher has faced Ole Miss, Auburn, and Georgia all last season, some of the best programs in the entire nation, and he told me he wouldn't want it any other way. He wants to face against some of the best hitters in the country, and tonight the pressure is on once again. So we'll see if he will continue to help the Firebirds start a good lead until the relievers come in. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Sammy. Top of the 3rd, Jake Peppers still on mound, and Dylan, that's the valuable thing about non-conference play. Obviously, Jacksonville State in the ASUN, but Peppers wouldn't have the opportunity to play the best of the best in college baseball if it weren't for those critical non-conference games.
Absolutely, and we brought it up last time out against Bourne. A few big starts, like Sammy said, against Georgia, against Auburn, against Ole Miss, where he's facing top SEC schools and showing out.
8-9-1, up for YD in the top of the third, still in search of their first hit. Oyama with a clean play at second makes sure that the leadoff man, Nathan Archer, out of Bowling Green, does not get that knock. 4 retired in a row, actually 5 retired in a row, dating back to the end of the first inning for Peppers.
Peppers has been so good so far tonight, and if he can put up a 0 and get that shutdown inning that the Firebirds really need, it'll be huge.
The only Red Sox to reach as Dub Gleed, the third baseman, takes a strike, was Anthony Martinez in the first, and he was plunked. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And that wasn't even a legit hit by pitch. Ball hit the ground and then deflected and hit Martinez. But a hit by pitch is a hit by pitch. Peppers, the 0-2. Misses low. Finding the zone. 35 pitches, 25 strikes.
He's definitely been more efficient than Judas on the other side, who the Firebirds have had great at-bats against. Peppers is being more efficient.
Hit the opposite way over a leaping Matt Hallback. Efficient, but finally a hit for YD. 1-out single for Dub Gleed. Not too far away from his collegiate teammate Joe Oyama at second.
Right over the head of Hallback, who gave it a valiant effort with the jump. But good placement, and now back to the top.
With Jacob Jenkins Cowart out of East Carolina, struck out his first time up. His second game with Yarmouth-Dennis. Peppers with a soft toss over to Hallback. Just to check in on Gleed. Jenkins Cowart, he could have a massive summer here with YD. Projected to be a top 100 pick in the MLB draft next year. All AAC first team in the spring. A Greensboro, North Carolina native was. Checking in on Gleed again.
I'm thinking of it from Pepper's perspective. He told me he's going to mix it up every single time around. He's not going to stick with 2 pitches first time through, then bring in one in the second time through. How will he attack the lineup?
Old chopper to Oyama. Turns for one at second, gets it. And holding on to it is Farrow. Reaching on the good old fielder's choice is Jenkins Cowart. But being forced out at second is Gleed. Finding different ways to attack the order. Peppers continues to get it done with 2 away here in the third.
And another great play by Oyama. That was tough because the ball almost hit the runner as well. Makes the play, turns around and throws it to Farrow, who smartly held on to it. No need to make the throw with the speed of Cowart.
Oyama did make 2 errors through his first 2 games with the Firebirds, but good to see his confidence at second continuing to shoot up as the games roll on here on the Cape. Max Vieira steps in the batter's box for the second time tonight. Flew out to center in the first. Peppers trying to control the running game, making Jacob Jenkins Cowart stay close to Matt Hallback there at first. Only stole 2 bags with East Carolina in the spring, so not necessarily a threat is Valenki, 6'5" star. Ripped in the left, that's a base hit. Jenkins Cowart trying to prove me wrong with the speed, sliding in the third. He is safe. A 50-50 play is getting back to first on the other side of a diamond is Max Vieira. A good throw from Eddie King in left, but Cowart able to run all the way to the hot corner and be safe. A 2-out single for Vieira's got runners on the corners for YD. And the powerful Anthony Martinez at the plate.
That was a great hit, and over, once again, another glove of the Firebirds in Farrow. King made a great throw to third, on line, low and fast. Penny with the tag, but not in time to get Cowart, and now the first big pressured chance for Peppers to show he's got it.
The tying run at third. Jenkins Cowart, the go-ahead run. Vieira at first. Martinez plunked. First go around. Hunter, great job blocking it up. As Peppers goes behind 1-0.
Hunter has been so good behind the plate. So has other catcher, Owen Carpellotti. He's got to keep the ball in front of him here with the man on third.
They've got to be good. Only 2 catchers on the roster. The 1-0 once again stuffed by Hunter. And the third base umpire says Martinez did not go. The call coming in from Anthony Brunetti. 2 balls, no strikes. Two hits for both teams. The latest from Max Vieira putting pressure on Peppers. But 2-0 is sky to right, drifting foul towards the edge of the hill for strike 1.
Now it's up to Peppers. That was a good changeup. Got him in front. Does he come back with the heat? Does he go off speed? Also got to watch, of course, Vieira on first, see how he kind of plays the first and third situation.
Martinez coming off a fantastic season at UCI. A third-team All-American by Collegiate Baseball Newspaper and only his first year at the collegiate level. The 2-1, too high. 3-1. A ball away from loading the bases with 2 out. And Hunter Hines, one of the best power hitters in the country on deck, he's licking his chops. The 3-1 swung on, opposite way, and in foul territory. Penny and King are over there, and the play not made. The count full.
Good hustle from those two. They know the situation. They know how every out is so crucial. Now Peppers has to really throw his best pitch of the night so far, 3-2. I think he goes change up.
What is pitch number 45? It's a critical one for Peppers in his second start with the Birds. The 3-2 pitch, outside, ball 4. Bases loaded for Hunter Hines, who drove in 4 runs yesterday against Falmouth.
Hines has the power. Can Peppers show up when needed? Show up in the big spot.
Trying to preserve the 1-0 lead in the top of the third. Low miss, 1-0.
The changeup's been working, and that's why he threw it on the 0-0 count with bases loaded. But can he trust the fastball? Can he trust the slider?
3 straight Red Sox have reached. The 1-0 pitch. High fly, right field. Get in front of it. Fenwick Trimble makes the play. A scary thought with the bases loaded and Hunter Hines at the plate. Jake Peppers doesn't care. Keeps it 1-0 Orleans as we go to the bottom of the third on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom of the third on the Birds Broadcast Network. Ian Nicholas, Dylan Pescatore, Sammy Miller. Got all the good coverage for you. Dylan Orleans, 2-1 on the year when they've held the point at any lead in the game, but it's only a 1-0 lead, and this is a great opportunity to add on to it.
Absolutely it is. 1-0, of course, smallest lead you can get, right? You need a few more. They've really had a great day at the plate so far. A walk over and a walk Micheletti. The big double by Oyama, and then, of course, the biggest hit of the night so far was Farreau. Back last inning in the bottom of the second. Can they build on it? Judas's pitch count is still pretty high, up to 42 through 2. I want better at-bats, continuously have 5, 6 pitch at-bats, and this is the man to do it, Jack Penny.
Penny did strike out his first time up, but the longest hitting streak on the Firebirds at 3 games in a row for the Wakefield, Mass native. Judas did pound the strike zone much more in the second than he did in the first. But regardless, Joe Oyama doubled and came home on a Drew Farrow RBI single. Penny goes behind 0-1. Another big exhale from Penny. One of the 5 lefties in the order tonight for Kelly Nicholson and company. Judas with the miss on the outer half. 1-1.
Good plate discipline so far from the Firebirds. It has to continue the second time through.
1-1 to Sticks. Checking with the third base ump. Penny did not go. 2-1, says Anthony Brunetti. Judas gets the sign from Will King. Behind the dish. For every game this season for YD. A powerful swing, but over top of it. 2-2.
He's getting his legs worked on every single day, huh? 9 innings every single night. I mean, the Firebirds are lucky they're switching every single day. Will King says, I got this one.
On the 2-2, a comebacker gets right by Judas. But it doesn't matter when you've got a reliable shortstop in Max Vieira, who makes an excellent play from short to gun down Jack Penny one away.
And that's why they have scouting reports, Ian. They knew that Penny likes to hit the ball right back up the middle. It looked like a single off the bat, but Vieira played him perfectly, right behind second base and there to make the play.
Vieira's gotten it done at many spots, whether it's Seton Hall or Northeastern, where he spent the first 2 years of his collegiate career. 1-0 to Fenwick Trimble. Popped up to short to the guy we were just talking about, Vieira, in the first. Cut on and missed on the 1-0. Judas seems much more in control over these last 2 innings after throwing over 20 pitches in that first frame. Albeit the run coming across the board for Orleans last frame. 2-1.
That's a pitch that Judas is working on, that front door slider that ties up the righty like it did Trimble right there. Just didn't get a part of the plate. But if he can get that going, oh man. He's got all the tools in the bag.
The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Base is empty, 1 out. Both squadrons with a hit today, 2 apiece. And a low-scoring affair early on from Eldredge. 4th home game in a row for Orleans. Launched to center field. Drifting towards his left and securing it with ease is JJC, Jacob Jenkins Cowart. 2 away.
So hard to read these hits in the center. Such good contact. As Trimble got a fastball up in the zone, he can do some damage with it. Over the vast area of center field here at Eldredge. So hard to get one down.
And so hard to find the barrel of the bat with a wood bat compared to the metal bats these guys have used all spring at their respective colleges. But once a guy like Fenwick Trimble can really find the barrel and figure out how to lift that ball deep like he did at James Madison with 13 home runs in the spring, and this offense can really start to roll. 1-0 to Micheletti. Now 1-1.
And I know they're going to use wood bats if they get into pro ball, and most of the players will. It sets them up for success as they get into those levels, and I'd say makes them a better hitter, having to be more perfect with their swing.
Judas is retired 4 of the last 5 for Orleans. Opposite way and foul. Micheletti behind 1-2. Walked his first go-around.
When batters are transitioning to wood bat, it definitely gives an advantage to the pitcher. But give him a week or two and these hitters will get going.
The pitcher trying to keep it going. as he gets another foul ball out of Eddie Micheletti, the rising senior out of George Washington. Hit over 380 in the spring. His first summer on the Cape with the Birds, but not his first summer on the Cape watching the Birds. A longtime Firebirds fan and Cape Cod vacationer. 2-2.
And the guy who's always going to come up and give you a good at-bat, I'll tell you that. Not an easy out is Eddie Micheletti.
Has struck out a few times this season with Orleans, but a very low strikeout rate, top 50 in the country. The 2-2.
Whoa.
Beam to right. Low is right. Might break a window.
For
At
the
school.
Firebirds' sake, I hope it doesn't.
Someone's got to pay for it, and it's probably not going to be Eddie. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 out. Nick Judas trying to go 1-2-3, keep it a 1-0 game. But another well-hit ball to left. It gets down. Eddie Micheletti, more like Eddie making his way on base for the second time. Third hit of a game for Orleans. Already the same amount of hits tonight as the Birds had all last night against Harwich.
Great at-bat from Micheletti. Fouls some tough pitches off. Goes the other way and just dunks a ball into left field. That's exactly what you want, and that's what can get this offense going, those type of swings.
Matt Hallback had a good swing last night that drove in a run. Does he have another RBI in him tonight? Micheletti not a massive threat on the base paths, despite Judas checking in on him. Did steal 8 bags with G-Dub in the spring, but it was only on 8 attempts, 100%. First pitch to Hallback, misses upstairs and gets by Will King. 1-0 to Hallback, and another runner in scoring position for the Firebirds.
And now that makes it each of the first 3 innings, they've at least gotten a runner on second. Every time makes this at-bat from Hallback even bigger.
King, one of the better defensive catchers in the country out of Eastern Kentucky. It's a tough play to make, and as a result, that stat holds true. Another scoring shot for Orleans. The 1-0. Foul behind the dish and just behind the backstop as well, as King gave it chase.
You think we'll get one this year, Ian?
Foul ball-wise?
Somewhere near us.
All I know is, you and I are Yankee fans. If there's a foul ball coming in my direction, I'm going to look less like a Gold Glover and more like Yankees radio legend John Sterling. I'm not catching that. The 1-1. 2-1.
Don't give the old man a chance. He didn't see it coming.
He told you that much on the radio. We call the games outside here at Eldredge. We know what's up. Figuratively and literally. Micheletti leads off second. Moved over on a wild pitch after his single. Hallback gets ahead 3-1, and King nearly allows Micheletti to take another free bag as it pops out of his glove, but jumps on it.
Perfect count, perfect chance here for Hallback. Look for a pitch in your zone and drive it.
The All Big West first team selection because he drove in plenty of runs. Swings and misses, goes behind. Full count.
And that's such an elite pitch from Judas. 3-1, you're thinking fastball the entire way. He just drops the slider on you.
Mostly a 2-pitch guy, but showing everybody on the Cape he's got the potential to be a little bit more. The Louisiana Monroe man throws for 3-2, and that time he gets Hallback looking for strike 3. Orleans has had runners in scoring position in each of the first 3 innings, but 4 big strikeouts from Nick Judas have limited the damage for the Red Sox to just 1 run. 1-0 Orleans in the driver's seat. We go to the top of the 4th. Top of the fourth on the Birds Broadcast Network. Ian Nicholas and Dylan Pescatore on the call for Orleans, who leads 1-0. Jake Peppers, you see him there getting warm. Let's go around the league, though, Dylan, before we talk any more about him. What do we got?
We got a few great games going on, Ian. High scoring over at Katuitt. Harwich up 8-4 as they had now reached 20 runs in the last 2 games. Bottom 8 at Lowell. Top of the 9th, Wareham and Brewster. Tie game at 4. Wareham won in a walk-off last night. Falmouth up 2-0 on Hyannis. Top 5 over at McKeon Park. And no score at Veterans Field between Chatham and Bourne.
Jake Peppers trying to keep it no score here in the top of the fourth, facing 5, 6, and 7 in the YD order. Starts with Ryan Stafford. The left fielder went down on 3 pitches and struck out in his first at bat in the second inning. Peppers approaching 50 pitches. And pitch number 50 is a strike. 0-2.
He ran into some trouble back in the third. A single, and a walk. See if the fourth can be a little cleaner for Peppers.
Ball skips in the dirt. Peppers still ahead. His second season on the Cape, his first with Orleans. Spent some time a summer ago in the West Division, Falmouth, with the Commodores, a team at Orleans plays tomorrow. Swing and a miss as Stafford goes down on strikes for the second time through 4 innings. And Peppers picks up strikeout number 3 overall.
Great changeup from Peppers to start off this inning. It's the inside and low to righties. It's been working all day long. And we talked about it in the start, Ian, where the Firebirds need 12 to 15, even maybe a little bit more.
Will King hopes he got a little bit more of that baseball. Dropping in the left, Eddie King with the basket snag. Going down on 1 pitch is the Eastern Kentucky catcher. Now 2 away in the 4th inning.
But as I was saying, these quick outs are so helpful. Continue on. If the Firebirds can get, like I said, 15, 18 outs from Peppers, it would be outstanding, and then let the bullpen work.
Casey Cook trying to work in a little bit of a longer at bat in his second trip up to the plate. First time around, flew out to left after Eddie King made an unbelievable diving snag in foul territory. He was first pitch swinging. But this time around, a little bit of a smarter approach for the rising redshirt sophomore out of North Carolina. He gets ahead 2-0. Peppers gets a call high in the zone, 2-1. Framed up well by Henry Hunter.
Got to throw strikes, attack the zone here against the 7-hitter.
Ball launched to the backstop. 2-2. YD Ballboy with a Red Sox logo, like the Boston Red Sox logo, on his helmet, but it's blue.
Father's Day.
Now 3-2.
Might have been yesterday, but big day for the fathers out there.
It should be Father's Day every day.
Is that what you got from your dad?
He probably has told me that once or twice. And more than just once or twice tonight, Jake Peppers has been on his game. 1-2-3 from the Jacksonville State product. Strikeout number 5 through 4. Scoreless innings. Orleans keeps the 1-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the 4th on the Birds Broadcast Network.
What Cape home design will you dream up? For over 16 years, Cape Dreams Building and Design has specialized in building custom homes for clients across Cape Cod. Our core values of honesty, integrity, and quality work are what separates us from other Cape builders and help us make your dreams of your next new home a reality. From new construction to additions and renovations, contact Cape Dreams today or visit our website at capedreamsbd.com.
This This game is just breezing by as the breeze has picked up on a beautiful Monday night from Eldredge Park. Dylan Pescatore, Ian Nicholas on the call here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Fourth inning of work to begin for Nick Judas. He faces Joe Oyama, who got the scoring party started. Hasn't been much of a party so far. But one run came across the board, a double in the second inning, and a Drew Farrow single scored the UC Irvine product.
Joe Oyama had a great at-bat last time up. Really put a good battle against Judas, and a half-swing double that dropped right into right center field.
Judas through 3, has given up 3 hits. That run we just mentioned. Showing off that elite stuff, though, that will make him highly coveted in next month's MLB draft. 4 Ks compared to a couple early walks, 2 to be precise, for the rising fifth year from Louisiana Monroe. Lefty on righty. Oyama goes behind 0-1. 66 pitches, 41 strikes for Judas. And to think he threw more balls than strikes in the first inning. The last 3, he's been pumping them in. Can't do it there. 1-2, Oyama did not go all the way around. 1-1. Judas holds at the belt. Oyama showed bunt, pulled it back, 2-1.
Oyama led off the second. Let's see if he can have a similar result here in the fourth.
Big swing, 2-2. Oyama did have a foul ball during his at-bat that ended in a check swing double that looked pretty good off the bat, but drifted foul in the right territory. His teammates cheering him on. Unfortunately, not enough to work out of that 2-2 count. Strike 3 looking, strikeout number 5 for Judas in under 4 innings.
And Oyama knew it. He didn't want to know it, but he knew it when he saw the ball hit the mid of King. And that was the end of his at-bat.
Speaking of King, here's Eddie King Jr. Takes the ball 1-0. Grounded out to Drew Farrow, or I should say Max Vieira at short in the second. Off speed, inside, and in for a strike. 1-1. Base is empty, 1 out. Eddie King in desperate need of a hit after a great season at Louisville. 1-2.
Outside and low corner to righties is what Judas is attacking. It's been working. See if the Firebirds can drive that pitch to right field.
King, a little chat with Jeff Merzel after that strike 2 called behind the plate. Just trying to get a feel for the zone in his second at bat. Works the ball there to even the count. An Orleans lineup that pretty much flips lefty-righty every night. And that one flipped by Eddie King Jr. Another strikeout for Nick Justice. Or Nick Judas, I should say.
Been so good with that slider, and that's what's been working. We know the fastball's there, but like I said, if that slider can get going and really be a top pitch for him, it's so hard to hit.
Judas has certainly gotten going. 3 strikeouts in a row. Got Hallback looking to end last inning, too, before retiring Oyama and King Jr. via the K here in the fourth. Henry Hunter, the catcher, ahead 1-0. He also struck out his first time up. The one issue for Hunter is striking out. In 10 at-bats, he's gone down striking out 5 times. But regardless, still has 3 hits. The 1-1, there's strike 2.
Hunter seems a little bit confused. The slider back foot to lefties is what he has to deal with.
Base is empty. 2 out. Judas ahead 1-2. Good pitch. This is low. Count even. It's pitching dominant early on in a Cape League season with the wood bats in play for the batters who are getting adjusted in another low-scoring game tonight with 5 hits through 4 innings and not one found from Henry Hunter. You think Nick Judas is feeling it? That is his 7th strikeout overall and his 4th in a row after 4 innings. But Orleans still in the lead after 4. 1-0, trying to keep it that way when we come back on the Birds Broadcast Network in the top of the 5th. It's a classic pitcher's duel here from Eldredge, where the pitching has always been great, but it's been great for both teams. Nick Judas for YD, and for Orleans, Jake Peppers. Delaney heads out to the mound for inning number 5. He's only given up 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, no runs. Much cleaner than his first go-around against Bourne. Where do you think he's made his biggest improvements?
I think it's been the all-speed pitch, Ian. The changeup has really dominated this start. Against Bourne, it was there, but it wasn't getting the swing and miss that he's getting today. 4 strikeouts so far. And now if he can get through this 5th, I know it's the 2nd time through with 8-9-1. Also, Jonathan Gonzalez is warming up in the bullpen. He's coming out of relief like he did against Chatham last week.
An Orleans bullpen that, before I'd say it's Friday loss to Katuitt, had proven very reliable. Who knows how much Kelly Nicholson will need to rely on it tonight. Jake Peppers got through a little bit more than 4 innings in his first start. Trying to stretch it out to 5 here in start number 2 of the summer. It starts with the right fielder, Nathan Archer, who has been one of the better players on the Cape to start this season. Headed into tonight, 5th in the league in batting average at .429, and tied with a plethora of players for a home run lead with 2. Shows bunt and put it in play momentarily before it went foul. 0-1.
Not a bad idea there from Archer. Looking to just get a runner on and put some pressure on Peppers. Penny was playing back. However, it went foul. Let's see if he tries it again.
Scott Pickler, the California connoisseur of talent, grabbing Nathan Archer from the middle of the country, Bowling Green in Ohio. Behind 0-1. Now the count even. That pitch too far in from Peppers. Orleans trying to get its first win against an East Division foe tonight. And the YD Red Sox, not just your average East Division team. Cape League released its first standings, power rankings, if you will, of the year a couple days ago on social media, and had the Red Sox at number 1. 2-2.
And they aren't wrong. This offense is nothing to doubt, nothing to look past. And Jake Peppers through 4 has made them look human.
Only 2 hits for YD. 2-2 though in the count. Leading off Nathan Archer, making Peppers work. Upstairs, ball 4. Leadoff walk for this YD offense. Maybe just what the doctor ordered to get things rolling for the Red Sox.
First time they've gotten a leadoff man on. Peppers has to work through it. He sees Gonzalez in the bullpen, the lefty getting ready. However, a big at-bat here against Gleed, who had a single last time up.
For the man they call Dub, trying to come out victorious in this at-bat. He singled his first time around in the second.
Good nickname for him because YD already has 4 on the year in terms of wins.
He got that name, obviously. Well, maybe not obviously. I'm not going to lie. I've never seen a guy named Dub. But his real name's William. W, you get the gist.
So not straight just after wins?
That would be pretty lethal. That would be, you got to have a lot of confidence. You got to be really good at what you do to call yourself Dub and back it up pretty much every day of your life. So I'm going to guess it's because his name is William. The 1-0, blistered to right, drifting foul, on the move, diving forward, unable to make the play, is Fenwick Trimble, who laid out, but to no prevail.
Great try by Fenwick. It just angled its way into foul territory, and he was playing just so deeply into the center field way into the gap. Didn't have a chance.
Gleed, he's got the power to keep it fair and to let it rip. Drove in 49 runs this past season at Cal Irvine. As Peppers, once again with a pickoff attempt in Nathan Archer's direction, who worked out a walk to get this inning going. Still a ball and a strike. Now 1-2.
There's a test for Peppers. Can he drop the changeup in there again? This time against Gleed. Hopefully get Gleed on top of it or even strike him out with it.
Peppers near 70 pitches. 67 through 3 innings. Four, rather. 2-2. Another packed house from Eldredge, even on a Monday night. One of the most passionate fan bases in all of the Cape League, continuing to show out for a team trying to get out of an early season funk. Sitting at 2-4. Peppers once again making close friends with Nathan Archer.
No, this is only game 2 for Matt Hallback. He must have caught at least 10 to 12 pickoff throws already. He's got to be alert.
Matt Hallback's been through a lot in his first 2 games as a Firebird. Being thrown right into the fire. Full count. Dub Gleed, bottom man of the order.
And now back-to-back full counts for these Red Sox. Peppers has really got to give it all, empty the tank right here.
One on, nobody out. Runner goes, payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Strikeout. But moving up to second after being mishandled by Hunter is the 8-hitter Archer. Still emptying the tank and doing exactly what he needed to do was Peppers.
Well, with the stolen base, Hunter had no chance with the pitch in the dirt, but a great changeup that once again drops off the table, gets the swing and miss, and that looks to be the end of the day for Peppers, who was really, really good.
Callie Nicholson's first mound visit of the day is to congratulate Jake Peppers on a really great start. But there is a runner on second, and he is responsible for him. Can Jonathan Gonzalez keep it quiet and keep it 1-0 Orleans here in the top of the 5th? We'll take a quick break, and you'll find out on the other side on the Birds Broadcast Network.
What Cape home design will you dream up? For over 16 years, Cape Dreams Building and Design has specialized in building custom homes for clients across Cape Cod. Our core values of honesty, integrity, and quality work are what separates us from other Cape builders and help us make your dreams of your next new home a reality. From new construction to additions and renovations, contact Cape Dreams today or visit our website at capedreamsbd.com.
Back in a jiffy here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Ian Nicholas, Dylan Pescatore, Sammy Miller bringing you the action in this East Division showdown between the Yarmouth-Dennis Red Sox and the Orleans Firebirds. Jake Peppers, 5 1/3, did not give up, 4 1/3 I should say. Did not give up a run, but could, as the runner on second, Nathan Archer reached on a walk, moved over to second after Dub Gleed struck out, and now Jonathan Gonzalez tries to keep that runner at second.
Gonzalez came into a jam last time out against Chatham. That was back on the 13th, 6 days ago. It was first and second with nobody out. He got a double play right back to him. Found a way out of the jam after allowing a double, and then struck out the next batter, which was Sam Antonacci from Chatham, their leadoff guy at the time. So Gonzalez has a little bit of experience when it comes to getting out of jams. We'll see if he can do it this time around in the 5th.
That was Gonzalez's lone appearance with the Firebirds this season. As you alluded to, went 2 2/3 out of a bullpen in the 2-0 loss to the A's from Veterans Field. Allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, and a walk for the rising senior out of Stetson. One of 2 Stetson hatters on this Orleans team. The pitcher who started the game against Chatham last Tuesday for the Firebirds, one of his teammates, Dylan Jacobs.
And now he's got to face the top of the order with the man on second, like we said. It won't be an easy task. But Gonzalez has got it in him. A lefty in Cowart and then a righty in Vieira on deck.
Back-to-back lefties for Gonzalez. Playing in the matchup game is Kelly Nicholson. How will it pay off against Jacob Jenkins Cowart? 1 on, 1 out. Good breaking ball inside, but it does not get the strike. 1-0. Cowart, a physically imposing presence, 6'5" for the East Carolina star. Gonzalez with a long look at the lead. Bouncing down the first base line. Glove by Hallback. Flips to Gonzalez. He loses the ball. Taking off for third, and Gleed is taken down at the dish. Henry Hunter guns him down. What looked like it could have been disaster turns into a positive for the Birds, albeit reaching first is Jenkins Cowart.
Well, a lot just happened right there, Ian. It looked like an incredible play by Matt Hallback, diving to keep the ball from going down the line. His flip to Gonzalez a little bit high, but great IQ by Hallback. Picks up the loose ball, throws it home in time, and a good tag from Henry Hunter as Archer was coming to the plate.
Nathan Archer had a good read on it, just reactionary after it popped out of a glove of Jonathan Gonzalez, but the rest was a great recovery defensively for Orleans for the second out of the inning.
3-1, 3-2 that play.
Bit of a challenge to put in the book. Ball and a strike to Vieira, who gets ahead 2-1.
And now it gets a little bit easier for Gonzalez, right? No more runners in scoring position. However, still facing a number 2 hitter on this YD Red Sox offense that's been insane so far this year.
Vieira 1 for 2 tonight. He singled in the second. There's the strike. Even count. Due to an absolutely wild play at first, Gonzalez just a strike away from getting out of that jam that Dylan mentioned he is oh so good at working out of. But before the 2-2, checking in on Jackson Cowart.
And I don't hate the move by Archer to come to the plate either. He saw the error and didn't think that anybody would get it with his speed coming to the plate. Hallback just made a better play.
And there's another pickoff attempt from Gonzalez. A bang-bang play, and in a low-scoring game, a risk that at the end of the day might not be worth it for YD, but plenty of game to play. You're in the top of the 5th. Still 2-2.
One more pitch for JG to get out of this jam. Lefty's going to try to either drop the changeup in it or go back foot slider to the righty.
Vieira with a hit now in all 8 games with the Red Sox. But he'll work the count full.
That was the changeup. Now does he go with the fastball that rides and almost starts over the outside part of the plate, goes to the right-handed batter's box, or I should say left-handed batter's box. Let's see what he goes with here.
Long look at Jackson Cowart before the payoff. Dealt, chopped, over to Oyama, who steps on the bag, but doesn't get the force out of Jackson Cowart. Reaching safely over at first, Vieira. That was a really close play. Oyama just went where the ball led him, but was just a half second too late.
And that's the right play by Oyama, too. He gathers the ball. He had to move to his left in front of second base, steps on the bag, closest to him. Just the speed by Cowart was too much, and Vieira got to first in a quick speed as well. So kind of unlucky for Orleans right there.
So Anthony Martinez, the big hitting first baseman from UC Irvine, a collegiate teammate of Joe Oyama, has the opportunity to capitalize on a play that Oyama just couldn't make. The opposite way and foul. 0-2.
Hopefully that, I wouldn't say defensive miscue, I'd say just unlucky play for the Firebirds doesn't come back to bite them.
Jackson Cowart on second. Max Vieira on first. 2 on, 2 strikes, and a breaking ball that misses in the dirt for ball 1.
Good setup pitch from Gonzalez. He can go outside one more time, maybe fire it inside to Martinez, get the fastball, and maybe catch him looking.
Gonzalez, a stare to second, a pitch dealt and fouled away. Still 1-2. The tying run in scoring position, the go-ahead run at first. In a 1-0 grudge match between 2 old East Division foes. Scott Pickler's Red Sox, Kelly Nicholson's Firebirds. You probably heard the story too many times over the years. In a tight battle in their first meeting of the summer. The 1-2, fair, down the line, snagged by Hallback. He throws it to first, and now ruled foul. Right on the line. A lot of 50-50 calls.
Yeah, and I'd consider that even unlucky for Orleans right there. Because Hallback makes such an incredible play right over the bag. He would have made the throw to Gonzalez, is what we're thinking. Now it gives Martinez, who we know such a feared hitter, another chance at the dish.
Matt Hallback's played a great first base the last few nights. Even though that one won't go in the books for anything. And that one doesn't go in the book as a strike. Just missing on the outside, Gonzalez. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. 1-0 Orleans.
Gonzalez has made such good pitches so far. No result yet. He needs it.
9 strikes on 15 pitches. 1 out. Blooping over the head of Hallback in the right. That's a base hit. On his way home, Jenkins Cowart ties this game. And now the go-ahead run on the way home. Max Vieira in safely. 1 swing of the bat, and YD takes the 2-1 lead in the top of the 5th inning. Off a 2-run double from Anthony Martinez.
And I believe they're going to rule that an error on Trimble as well. Looked like a single, then it got past him after he tried to field it, which allowed Vieira to come all the way from first and score 2 runs now across for YD after some unfortunate calls against Orleans.
The error posted on the scoreboard. An F9 on Fenwick Trimble.
So that'll be a single and then an E9.
A single that definitely scored Jenkins Cowart, and then moving to second and also scoring the run Max Vieira due to that error. Still a runner in scoring position, 2 out, but Gonzalez with 2 quick strikes to the 3-hitter, or I should say the 4-hitter, Hunter Hines, trying to escape this inning. Keeping it still a 1-run game, but now in the other team's favor. 1-2.
You have the ball to first that Hallback made the great play on, however, is ruled foul. And then the next pitch that was right off the outside corner from Gonzalez didn't go the Firebirds' way. The next one into right field for a base hit to tie the game and then eventually give them the lead.
Orleans has not been able to catch a lot of breaks this season. They do get one there. Jonathan Gonzalez, his strikeout of the almighty Hunter Hines to leave a runner stranded in scoring position. That runner, Anthony Martinez, with an RBI single and then an error from Fenwick Trimble in right, gave YD the lead. How long do they keep it? Orleans looks to respond. We come back in just a moment in the bottom of the 5th. Off the mound with that lead change. Bottom. YD's taking the lead, and with it, taking its pitcher off the mound. Nick Judas, 5 innings of 1-run ball, 7 strikeouts for the Louisiana Monroe righty. He's replaced by another big man, the 6'5", 226-pound right-hander out of Georgia, Leighton Finley.
And Leighton, like you said, Ian, out of Georgia, another 6'5". So we go 6'8" Judas, 6'5" Finley. He's pitched once this year, is back on the 13th, and an inning of work, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. And now we'll face 9-1-2 in the Orleans order.
It starts with Drew Farreau, the switch-hitting shortstop. Once again, the bat lefty against another righty YD arm. Farreau, his first hit in 4 games back in the 2nd inning, and it was an RBI single to right that scored Joe Oyama, but the lead no longer in possession of the Birds after 2 runs for YD in the top of the frame off Jonathan Gonzalez. Ball and a strike.
Farreau, the man to get the RBI for the Firebirds back in that 2nd inning. Good hit over the second baseman, Cook, into right.
The 1-1 offering. 1-2. Finley, a 6.3 ERA during his freshman season with the Bulldogs. All but one of his 21 appearances out of a bullpen. 4 saves for Georgia. The 1-2. Big curve. Fouled off.
Probably coming into a game earlier than he thought, or earlier than he's used to, at least.
He's
the
got
5th.
He's got good stuff to come out of a bullpen with. 31 strikeouts in just over 27 innings with Georgia in the spring. 2-1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. His 2-2 offering misses outside. YD tied atop the East Division standings with Brewster. The Whitecaps, the defending East Division champions, took down Scott Pickler's bunch earlier this season, just last week. Big swing and a miss. The strikeouts keep coming despite a new arm on the mound as Farrow retired on strikes.
That's strikeout number 8 on the night for the Firebirds. Judas brought 7 in 4 innings. His final line, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 7 Ks. Firebirds need to find a way to get the ball in play more.
Coming off a night against Harwich where Orleans struck out 14 times. The offensive production for the Firebirds still coming along. Now in game number 8 of 44. Lots of baseball ahead. Who knows how much more for Austin Overn here on the Cape. Headed to play for USA Baseball's training camp in under a week. Ball and a strike. Breaking ball dies low and in for ball 2.
It's an interesting way he has to go there, and him and 40 to 50 other players are there to try out for the team. Not a given that they make it.
An honor just to be invited to carry North Carolina. 2-2, regardless of the result. Overn could be back with the Birds later in the summer. He could not. Obviously, we're rooting for him. Walked in the first. Retired in the second. And another strikeout. Leighton Finley. A wise move from Scott Pickler to go for the bullpen with a talented arm like Leighton Finley. Pumping in strikes.
Here's Jack Penny. His swings have looked better of late. Going to get some offense going for Orleans.
Swings one foul to left field. 0-1. Bench coach Jay Banfield, Kelly Nicholson, talking things over from the dugout, right behind Penny. 1-1.
That curveball, man, just drops. That one to Penny didn't look like a strike out of his hand, but when it does, and then completely tornadoes to the dirt, like that one, hard to hit.
But Penny staying off of it and gets another ball. And ahead in the count he goes.
You have to have some real plate discipline to lay off of it, and that's what Jack Penny has.
Puts this ball in play, and it drops right out of a glove of Finley. As a result, unable to recover is the second baseman, Cook. And reaching somehow, some way.
Good hard hit ball.
4th game in a row, Jack Penny is hit. And reached. Those swings do look better. Fenwick Trimble trying to get his first hit in 4 games, but he sends one right to short. That's gloved with ease by Max Vieira to end 5 innings of play. Leighton Finley, couple big strikeouts, and the ground out gets him out of trouble. 2-1, YD over Orleans. We go top 6 on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the Birds Broadcast Network. I'm Sammy Miller. Ian and Dylan, I haven't seen the energy this high in the dugout all season long. Before the game, Johnny Olmstead and Jake Casey told me that they were going to bring the heat to the dugout, and they're definitely fulfilling that promise. And before the game, the coaches also told me the keys for this particular game was to have fun, keep calm, and play like themselves in the box. And right now they're checking off all of those boxes. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Sammy. Max Fesky, the hitting coach. He detailed some keys before the game, pretty similar to the ones that Sammy just listed. One of them, be yourself in the box. The other two, fall back on your preparation, as that ball was fouled down the left field line from Ryan Stafford to begin the inning against Jonathan Gonzalez. And the final one was play clean defense. How do you think Orleans has lived up to those keys so far, Dylan? Trailing by a run.
Defense has been pretty good so far overall. I think be yourself in the box is something that the Firebirds are kind of working on. I think at times they think that the opposing starting pitcher and they see his numbers, and usually they're pretty good. I mean, he's in the Cape for a reason, right? And if you look at the guy's numbers, can get a little scared, a little, hurt by what he's done at college. However, what does that mean? Best hitters, best pitchers, they're going to have good numbers, just like Jonathan Gonzalez.
Not great numbers tonight for Ryan Stafford, as Gonzalez picks up the K and Stafford picks up his third K of a game. Rebounding nicely after giving up 2 runs, 1 earned. Last inning out of a bullpen in relief of Jake Peppers. Will King 0 for 2 so far, but he's still yet to strike out in his 8th game in the YD red and navy blue.
And in terms of Gonzalez, if he can get through 6 and maybe even the 7th inning, knowing a few big arms in that Orleans bullpen out there.
Here's a big shot to right center. And it falls into the glove of Austin Overn. Makes it look easy. And it's not easy against Will King. He's putting the ball in play, but that's the 3rd straight flyout for the Eastern Kentucky catcher. And now 2 away in the top of the 6th.
Doesn't he, like you said, Ian, that's what I was thinking. Makes it look easy. That is a ball that not a lot of center fielders get to. A crack off the bat to right center, and Overn just strolls over and makes the basket catch. No problem, no issue.
Just casual elite speed from Austin Overn. Casey Cook, the second baseman, also 0 for 2. The middle of the order has been a bit cold for Scott Pickler's bunch, as Cook looks at a strike on the outer half and goes behind 1 and 2.
4 to 7 hitters, hitless, 0 for 11. And it'll continue.
That it will. Back-to-back strikeouts for Casey Cook. Jonathan Gonzalez, 1, 2, 3. And it stays a 1-run game as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 YD over Orleans here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom 6 on a cool night from Eldredge. Dylan Pescatore, Ian Nicholas on the call. Birds Broadcast Network. Dylan, before we get back to the game at hand, how about some out-of-town scores?
You got it. 9-4, Harwich taking it to the top of the West. Katuitt, bottom 9, last chance for those Kettleers. Wareham and Brewster are final, but sadly it ends in a tie. 4-4 in 10, even though the runner on second base was in effect for the 10th inning. Neither team could score. Top 7, Falmouth and Hyannis are tied as well, 2-2. And over in Chatham at Veterans Field, East Division rival Chatham losing to the Bourne Braves, 4-1, top 4.
Bourne, who sits in the bottom of the West Division standings after winning the Cape League title just a season ago. trying to claw its way back. Not even 10 games into 2023. Leighton Finley back for his second inning on the bump, out of a bullpen. He faces the heart of the order for Orleans, starting with the DH, Eddie Micheletti Jr., who's reached in both of his plate appearances tonight a walk in the first, a single in the third.
Really liking what Eddie brings to the table. That's 2 straight curves that he waits on and sees them drop into the dirt. Hunt fastball here, 2-0.
Does the 19-year-old Finley throw it? He does, and it's grounded to short. Well played, and the throw across the diamond. He's in time, despite laying out for it by Micheletti. 1 up, 1 down, and now for Finley. 4 up and 4 down.
Can't say these players aren't giving it their all, but what a play by Vieira in the hole with a long throw and a good one to Hines over at first.
One of the best players in the Big East, Vieira at Seton Hall. Not only a first-team conference selection because of his bat, but also because of his glove. Here's Matt Hallback. 0 for 2 tonight. He struck out both swinging and looking. But that doesn't speak for how good he's been defensively. He goes behind 0-2.
Sometimes that curveball from Finley can stay up, just like that one. Hallback can sense it and smack it.
Base is clear, 1 out. Blistered to right. He whacks that one, but unfortunately straight to the glove of Nathan Archer. 2 away. As Leighton Finley in his second Cape League appearance, looking good.
Really like that swing from Hallback. I know it was down 0-2 in the count and a high fastball, but took it to right. Going the opposite field has worked for the Firebirds today. Talking about Micheletti, last time he was up before this inning, he went to the opposite field for a single.
Oyama, per usual.
He's making Gleed work over there, making him run in and out.
Well, they know each other well. Maybe they'll chop it up when they're back at UC Irvine in the fall. But for now, enemies on the diamond. Maybe not that serious. 2-0.
Love Oyama to straighten it out. Maybe like that foul ball home run back in his first at-bat. Make it fair.
The first of 4 hits tonight for Orleans came off the bat of Oyama. Orleans, the offense, looking for some life. 5 runs in the last 4 games. Oyama with the first and biggest breakthrough tonight. Shows bunt, takes a strike.
Now 3-1. He's got to look for the fastball. You can dare Finley to throw the curveball, which has been working, but look fastball on the 3-1.
He looked for it, and he swung at it, and he missed it. Oyama still alive with the full count. And 2 out. Bottom of the 6th. Leighton Finley trying to go 2 shutout out of the pen. His payoff pitch does not do that as it's bleeped the opposite way, and Oyama showing the speed. He slides past first and settles for a single. Oyama his second hit of the night.
I told you, opposite field works, and that's what Oyama does. He waits and waits and waits, and he gets it right past Gleed at third base and down the line. Not sure if going in for 2 was an option there, but did a little slip and slide around first, and now another runner for the Firebirds.
Eddie King Jr. tries to keep the inning alive. Oyama, his first 2 hits as a Firebird have come tonight. 0-1.
King's swing looks a little bit long right now. He has to shorten it up against the high velocity that Finley brings and hopefully find a gap. With the speed of Oyama, he can come around to score with the best of them. Maybe even take a bag.
Took 14 of them in the spring with the Anteaters. King 0 for 2 tonight. Ground out to short in the second. Strikeout. Facing Judas in the 4th. But now it's Leighton Finley. who once again looks at Oyama. He knows his scouting report.
Maybe even a hit and run if the Firebirds put that one on with their coaching staff. If King could find a way through first base and second baseman, a big hole, get it to right, get Oyama going.
Orleans is yet to, well, maybe really execute that hit and run. The runner goes, and King loses it. Oyama does exactly what you predicted. Steal a bag, move into scoring position. A big breakthrough for Joe Oyama, who's going to be here all summer long. Cross your fingers. He is a permanent player who is gaining permanent respect for his performance tonight from the Orleans faithful.
6th inning, 4th time that the Firebirds have got a man on second base.
But still just one run to show for it. Eddie King does get ahead in the count, 2-1.
Need to find a way to drive these runners in.
King scored one of Orleans' most memorable runs of the season, but can he drive in his first run as a Firebird? Gets ahead 3-1.
And with Vieira watching Oyama at second base, a huge hole between Gleed and Vieira, shortstop and third. King could find a way to get one through there.
Pull it towards the left side of the field. That would be the perfect plan. Does swing at it, but underneath the ball. Full count. King steps back in. Oyama on second after his second hit of the night. Trying to score his second run of the night. But King goes down on strikes instead. Orleans has had the opportunities with runners in scoring position, but the pitching from YD and over the last two, Aiton Finley, has been great. It stays 2-1 Yarmouth-Dennis over Orleans. We go to the top of the 7th on the Birds Broadcast Network.
What Cape home design will you dream up? For over 16 years, Cape Dreams Building and Design has specialized in building custom homes for clients across Cape Cod. Our core values of honesty, integrity, and quality work are what separates us from other Cape builders and help us make your dreams of your next new home a reality. From new construction to additions and renovations, contact Cape Dreams today or visit our website at capedreamsbd.com.
Six innings down, only 3 runs for both teams. Can the offense come alive in the 7th? Jonathan Gonzalez hopes it doesn't, at least from his perspective. 1 2/3 for the rising senior out of Stetson, and the Florida native has thrown 29 pitches, trying to get a little bit more out of him, Dylan.
That's right, and he came out in relief, got a few really important outs like we said last time against Chatham. This time, it's going to get tough. He's facing 8, 9, and 1. It starts with Nathan Archer for YD. If he can find his way through this inning, it would set the Firebirds up great pitching-wise, just needing to put across 1-1 to tie this game.
Leading off, as you mentioned, the Bowling Green product. 0 for 1 with a ground out to second and a walk in the 5th. Lefty on lefty. First pitch swinging. Falls behind. Gonzalez has experience both starting and coming out of a bullpen for Stetson. Weakly hit to first. Hallback stumbles, dives, and does make the tag. Matt Hallback. It's not the cleanest over there, but he's a rangy guy, and he just lunges for him and gets him. 1 away. Nathan Archer goes back to the dugout.
We've had some crazy plays over at first base today, and it was going to be a tough one. Archer put in a weird place for Hallback, who had to field it on the hop. And thought he was going to get to the bag, stumbles, and then makes the great tag.
Ball put in play by Dub Gleed, but easily fielded by Farrow at short. 1 pitch and down. Gonzalez looking really clean here.
And now let's get back to the top of the order. Gonzalez has probably looked his best as a Firebird so far. Really dominating the lefties and getting ground ball outs.
Only his second appearance with the Firebirds, but he's only given up 2 earned runs. There's a strike, and he's gone multiple innings in both appearances out of a bullpen, providing some really much-needed middle relief. Top of the order, it's Jacob Jenkins-Cowart, who quickly goes behind, no balls, 2 strikes.
I really love to see how Gonzalez works against lefties. That's his bread and butter, right? Starts with the outside fastball, then goes with the fastball low.
And on pitch number 3, a fastball that gets through the infield and by a diving Drew Farreau. A 2-out single for the ECU star. 4th hit of the night for YD. Still ahead 2-1.
Good pitch from Gonzalez, but like we talked about it yesterday, and it was Lorenzo Carrier on an 0-2 pitch. Sometimes the Firebirds in 0-2 get a little bit too close to the strike zone, and that was an example of it. Cowart down 0-2 in the count, had to protect. Got a ball just past the infield and into center for the single.
Vieira, he knows a thing or two about putting the ball in play. Singled his last 2 times up after a fly out in the first. The 1-0, low and away, ball 2.
First 2 outs were easy. Now you have to go back to the top of the order.
One of the most consistent hitters in the Cape through the first 5th of the season. And it's because of a plate discipline. 3-0. Scott Pickler giving the signs over at first. But 25th year skipper. Strike 1. The winningest manager in Cape League history. Well over 550 wins. Past John Schiffner, the legendary Chatham manager last year for that record. This one does not get past Drew Farreau, but he loses it. Spins, throws, not in time. Couldn't glove it, then barehanded it, and could not sling it to Matt Hallback to retire. Max Vieira. Gonzalez so close to getting out of his 7th easily instead. 2 runners on, and Anthony Martinez up.
And not exactly hard contact either. Soft contact by Cowart to go up the middle, and then a soft contact, difficult play for Farreau with the speed of Vieira as well. And now Gonzalez is in a jam.
Ruled a base hit. 3rd straight single for Max Vieira. His 8-game hitting streak continues. His batting average now approaching 500, which is unreal in Cape League action. The 1-0 offering. Hit to center. Austin Overn has the track on it, at the track, and strands 2 base runners before flipping the ball to a kid in the outfield. Austin Overn's been as steady as you can get in center. Jonathan Gonzalez steady out of the bullpen. Keeps it 2-1 YD over Orleans, where the Bats have an opportunity to come alive after a 7th inning stretch at Eldredge. Still the Georgia Bulldog, Leighton Finley on the mound for YD after the 7th inning stretch from Eldredge. The lights on a Monday night. Thanks so much for joining us. Dylan Pescatore, Ian Nicholas on the call here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Dylan, one swing of the bat could change this game and give Orleans some momentum. Maybe a home run. Haven't seen one here from Eldredge or period for this Orleans team since a week ago today, and A 6-4 win against the Bravos of Bourne.
That's right. It's been tough sledding for the offense. But we all know at 9 outs to work, it's one swing away, like you said, Ian, to see if we can tie this game up. The Firebirds, I should say. And it all starts with Henry Hunter.
Lefty on righty. Hunter with 9 home runs over 92 career games at the collegiate level. None yet as an Orleans Firebird. With the green bicep guard for the UAB Dragons. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. The off-speed, a lot of movement for Finley, and it's played out well through 2 scoreless innings out of a bullpen. Ahead in the count, he misses low.
And a defensive change for the YD Red Sox. Brady Day comes in at second base for Cook.
He's now played in all 8 games for YD. There's a strike. 1-2. Brady Day out of Kansas State. Only 5 for 25 from the plate, but looking to provide a spark defensively and ignite his play on the offensive end. Back to an even count.
Hunter's so good at getting the bat to the ball. See if he can get one here. He loves to pull the ball to right.
0 for 2 tonight. A pair of strikeouts for the Alabama native. King set up outside. Hunter to the inside of the infield. And once again, an easy play to make for Max Vieira. At least he makes it look easy. There he is. Ground out to start the inning. 2 1/3 scoreless for Finley.
What a play by Vieira, going behind second. Throw across his body to the first baseman, Hines, who makes a good scoop. Good defense by YD tonight.
Swing and a miss at the pitch in the dirt for Furrow, who goes behind 0-1. 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI. Back in the second inning, that brought Joe Oyama home. His first run batted in as a Firebird, the future Florida State Seminole. Works the count even, 1-1. Kelly Nicholson, the 18th year manager, trying to prop up the rising sophomore. Still trying to find his way from the plate in game number 8 of the Orleans season. Ahead 2-1, just like YD is in the scoreboard. 2-1 for the Red Sox. Shot to the netting, count even. Austin over and on deck.
What I'm seeing from Finley is the curveball is landing, but it's landing low. He can throw it with 2 strikes. How can Furrow exploit it, wait for the high fastball, or lean on the curveball? Scoop it out.
There's a fastball, and there's strike 3 looking. Leighton Finley does not look like a 19-year-old on the mound. He looks like somebody who's a rising star in the SEC with the way he's pitching. 2 2/3 scoreless ever since Nick Judas started this game off with 7 strikeouts in 4 scoreless frames. 4 innings of 1-run ball. There's a strike to Austin over. 0-1.
Third baseman Gleed in. However, the right side of the infield, their infielders are shallow.
And there it is, right to the right side of the infield. And they were ready for it. Hines flips to the Georgia boy, who's put up 3 scoreless frames out of a bullpen. And has kept it 2-1 YD. Orleans tries to keep it a 1-run ball game. Is it Jonathan Gonzalez or a new pitcher? You'll find out who Kelly Nicholson has tabbed when we come right back in the top of the 8th on the Birds Broadcast Network.
What Cape home design will you dream up? For over 16 years, Cape Dreams Building and Design has specialized in building custom homes for clients across Cape Cod. Our core values of honesty, integrity, and quality work are what separates us from other Cape builders and help us make your dreams of your next new home a reality. From new construction to additions and renovations, contact Cape Dreams today or visit our website at capedreamsbd.com. firebirdsport.com.
(2-1) still the score. It has been for quite some time from Eldredge Park. Orleans in danger of dropping its 5th game in a row if the offense can't come alive. But right now, it's time for the defense and the pitching to do its job. Jonathan Gonzalez did his Dylan. Connor Eaton now on the mound, but what was the final line on the Stetson product, Gonzalez?
Gonzalez came in, a jam, found his way through it. 2 2/3, 3 hits with 2 runs, 1 being earned and 3 strikeouts. He really looked good, had a lot of swing and miss stuff. And now another lefty in Connor Eaton.
His second appearance as a Firebird, pitched 1 1/3 last Tuesday at Chatham. His first appearance in front of a home crowd. 1 1/3, did not give up an earned run, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Missed the entirety of his freshman season at George Mason last year and was a starter for the Patriots this past spring, a team that made it to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 9 years.
Eaton throws from the left side, and he's special. 95, 96 coming from the left side. Control's been a little bit shaky through 1 appearance. That was against Chatham. But can Eaton control? And he's got a big test coming up as the first batter.
He does. He's been probably the biggest test for any pitcher on Cape Cod this summer. A finalist for the National Player of the Year award during his sophomore season at Mississippi State, Hunter Hines. 0 for 3 tonight. A fly out to center, a fly out to right, and a strikeout. But Hines, he doesn't back down from a challenge. Actually released a statement a couple weeks ago that has Mississippi State's fans buzzing. You know, a tough season for the Bulldogs, a team that won the College World Series 2 years ago, and this year just finished 1 game above 500. Released a statement on Twitter with a graphic and a lot of text, which nowadays could be interpreted as, I'm out of here, I'm going to the portal. But not for the Mississippi State native. He said it's time to bring this team back to Omaha after a tough season for the SEC Power. Right now, he's showing his power, and he's showing his leadership as the leader for one of the top teams in the East. And he's ahead 3-0. Not an easy decision to make in today's era of college baseball and college athletics, with the transfer portal being the wild, wild west as it is. But he gets on base for his first time tonight, shows his patience.
I bet that gave every Mississippi State baseball fan a little bit of a heart attack when it came out, but decides to come back, decides to take the challenge on, and you know, sometimes you have to go through rough times to get to the great times, and that's what, you know, comparing it back to the Firebirds, that's what they hope this season is. A rough stretch in the first few games like they've already had, but when we get into July and late July, maybe even August, they'll get better.
Pinch runner enters the ball game. Hines reaches for the first time. It's Nick Mitchell, who's got great speed. Obviously, he wouldn't be pinch running if he didn't. Someone who's trying to turn things around right now, in the here and now, is Ryan Stafford. The left fielder's 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out swinging each of his times up. And he goes down 0-1 in a count to Connor Eaton, the new pitcher in the ballgame.
And for Eaton, it's finding a way to throw strikes like he just did and keep this game at 2-1. Give your offense a chance to get back into this one.
5 hits tonight for YD. 2 runs to show for it. 1 error from Orleans. An E9 from Fenwick Trimble. Did lead 2-1 of UID runs, though. 0-2 with the catcher Will King just outside the on-deck circle. Eaton's 0-2 is swung on, skied high in the right center field. Fenwick Trimble makes the catch. And Nick Mitchell, who is more than halfway to second base after tagging, gets back to the first base bag. 1 away. Mitchell stole 8 bags during his sophomore season at Western Illinois in the spring. The year before, he stole 30. Bit of a drop-off, but obviously some great speed there.
He's got some juice in those legs, and YD wants to extend this lead. They want that 2-run lead. Mitchell's going to be on the go if he can get it.
Will King will more than likely put the ball in play. Doesn't even need to. Mitchell goes, Hunter throws in front of the bag, and mishandled by Farrow. And it leads to another bag for Nick Mitchell. Certainly some juice in those legs. Pinch running for Hunter Hines. And right now he gets some congratulations and maybe a little bit of teaching from Scott Pickler at third.
It'll be interesting how they rule it. That's definitely a stolen bag, and then an error either on Hunter, whose throw is in the dirt, or maybe Oyama. I'd probably lean on the side of Hunter, but now it just gets even more difficult for Eaton. Now 1 out, man on third.
Multiple errors made by Orleans in each of the last 2 games, as King gets ahead 2-1 on the count. 0 for 3 tonight. Retired by a fly out each time up. 2 times to Austin Overn in center.
And now infield in for Orleans, of course, trying to prevent the run.
King gets a stab at it. Count even 2-2. Hall back at first. Oyama at second. Penny at third. Farrow at short. King still choking up on the bat, has been the theme for him throughout this season. The king of contact for the catcher position. Counts even.
And he needs a K here. He needs a K or a soft ground out, maybe a pop-up in the infield, but looking for the strikeout. He knows he has it. He's got 96 in that arm.
The arm goes off speed this time around and upstairs. King, a full count with Brady Day on deck for his first at-bat of a night. Eaton gets the sign from Hunter. From the stretch, the payoff. Sky foul.
You said it, Ian. The king of contact. That was 95, 94, a fastball on the inside part of the plate, and he somehow got a piece of it. Very difficult to do.
You don't hit 350 as a catcher at the collegiate level if you don't know how to put the ball in play and drag out at bats. Another payoff. A ball put in play. Left center field gap. In for a hit. King continues his dominance as Nick Mitchell makes his way around the horn and scores. And YD is now up double runs. Multiple runs, rather. 3-1. Red Sox over Orleans. An RBI single with 1 out for Will King, who is also going to be pinch ran for.
And that will be Jacob Christian as the pinch runner, but good job by King. Once again, he has tough at-bats. He somehow finds a way to drop one into left field. And what looms large is Eddie King's at-bat last inning. Man on second, 2 outs. The Firebirds can't get it done. YD does.
Brady Day, runner on the move. Eaton had to jump on him and then blocked.
He lifted his leg and had to throw to first base. He couldn't put it down without throwing. That is why the balk was called, and now the runner moves to second. This is starting to get away from the Firebirds. But Ian, the pitching, which has been pretty good tonight, has so much pressure on them due to the offense, putting up only 1. They have to be almost perfect every time out.
And that pressure is, in my mind, started to get to the Orleans pitching staff. 6 runs in the last 5 games for Orleans. The pitching was nearly perfect through the first 3 games. But as the games have gone on and the pitching has had its ups and downs, as Christian takes off, Hunter throws to third, mishandled, and off to the left of the bag. Penny did his best to block it up, but could not apply a tag of any kind. And Christian now 90 feet away from making this a 3-run game in favor of YD.
Penny had to save that ball or else it was going into left field, and it would be another run for the Red Sox. Good job by Penny to block that one up.
Lefty on lefty. Day evens the count. Strike on the outer half, 1-2.
Nice job by Eaton. If he can find that fastball in the outer half of the plate, that's where he will work and exceed.
The 1-2 exceeds at getting the ball in play. What a backhand. Farrow over to first. An unbelievable play, but at what cost? Jacob Christian scores from third. After a balk and a stolen bag, the pinch running has been excellent in this inning. 2 pinch runners, and both of them come home for Scott Pickler's crew, and the lead grows to 4-1.
It goes back to that balk, and then Eaton didn't see the runner at second taking off. A play like that by Farrow, which was an incredible play at that. Infield in, dives to his right, makes a great play. Didn't have the chance to get the runner at home.
4th RBI for Brady Day. It's an RBI ground out. Appears to be a ground out here as well. Nathan Archer retired 4-3, Oyama to Hallback. But the runs keep on coming. Even on an awesome play from Drew Farrow, Jacob Christian scores. And Orleans has to crawl out of a bigger hole. 4-1 the hole when we come back in the bottom of the 8th on the Birds Broadcast Network.
What Cape Home design will you dream up? For over 16 years, Cape Dreams Building and Design has specialized in building custom homes for clients across Cape Cod. Our core values of honesty, integrity, and quality work are what separates us from other Cape builders and help us make your dreams of your next new home a reality. From new construction to additions and renovations, contact Cape Dreams today or visit our website at capedreamsbd.com.
The score. YD doubles the lead in the top of the inning and goes to the guy who has kept it a 1-run game for Orleans in the bottom of the 8th. It's still Finley. And why is it, Dylan?
Because he's been dominant, continuously striking out Orleans hitters that have looked almost lost against him. 4 strikeouts in 3 innings of work. This will be number 4, as you said. And that hook curveball that lands in the dirt, along with a fastball that has catched some Firebirds by surprise. It's been tough sledding against Finley.
Jack Penny, the 2-hitter, leads off. Finley with 4 strikeouts, no walks, 2 hits, no runs in 3 innings. And for back-to-back nights, Orleans has double-digit Ks. 25 strikeouts in the last 2 games. Jack Penny owns one of them tonight. Struck out in the first, but he did single his last time up. 4-game hitting streak. Orleans could use a little bit of that juice here in the bottom of the 8th. Lefty on righty. Ground ball to second. Day has it with ease. And there's one away off 2 pitches.
So hard to get under a fastball from Finley. It's been a lot of ground ball outs from him. He looks as confident as ever, and no issue in the world for Finley on the mound.
And for a rising sophomore who came out of a bullpen almost exclusively for Georgia in the spring. Surprising to see him give Scott Pickler and crew so much length. Kind of reminds you of what Tom Holliday and company were able to do just under a week ago in Chatham. Threw 2 pitchers the entirety of the game, and it shut down Orleans. Fenwick Trimble, ball and a strike to the 3-hitter.
And yes, of course the innings are going to stand out to you, but he's been so efficient as well. Only 50 pitches, getting 10 outs so far.
Behind 2-1. is Finley. A cool night. Another home game. Orleans has now played 3 in a row from Eldredge. Foul ball and out of the play. Kaylee Nicholson says, it's out, as Matt Hallback was giving a chase into foul territory. As active as ever is a San Francisco Bay native. 2 balls, 2 strikes. High fly. Left center field. It does not make it to the track, however. Play made in left field by Ryan Stafford. Actually, the defensive replacement, Nick Mitchell, who pinch ran in the top of the inning, scored a run and replaces Stafford in left. 2 away. And here's Eddie Micheletti. Made a strong first impression on Firebirds fans in the home opener with the first home run of the year for Orleans just over a week ago. And has been solid once again tonight with a walk and a hit.
He's done his job getting on base, and from the left side brings a real big bat into this Orleans lineup.
There's a big swing to right field, but once again it's corralled. Nathan Archer makes it 1-2-3. That's 4 scoreless for Leighton Finley out of a bullpen. In 8 innings of 1-run ball for the YD pitching staff. 1 more inning for Orleans to avoid a 4th loss in a row, trying to keep it 4 runs on the board for YD. See if Connor Eaton can do that when we come back on the Birds Broadcast Network in the top of the 9th. Top 9 from Eldredge. Orleans 2-5 on the season. 4 straight losses. A couple of them to East Division foes. One of the best teams in the East trying to get win number 5 tonight. YD well on its way to doing so. But Connor Eaton trying to keep it a 3-run game for his crew in his 2nd inning of work out of a bullpen. He faces 8-9-1. And it starts with Nick Mitchell.
What got Eaton into trouble last inning? The leadoff walk. No one likes a leadoff walk when it's their team pitching. And it was a walk by Eaton to Hunter Hines, replaced by Mitchell with the pinch runner, like Ian said. Eventually made his way around to score. And then a single after a balk and a stolen base that scored YD's 4th run.
Dub Gleed, 1 for 3 tonight. Single in the 2nd. Grounded out his last time up.
You know, it's those little things that are really coming out to play against the Firebirds with so much pressure on their pitching staff. It's the stolen bases, the balks, the throwdowns. It's so much pressure defensively to make every play perfect because the offense hasn't been able to bail them out. You know, when you have an offense like YD who scores 47 runs in the first 7 games, you can make a few mistakes defensively and get away with it. Firebirds, not so much.
The offense for Orleans has not gotten to the point where you can rely on your defense every single night to get you wins and the pitching. Gets Dub Gleed looking, though. Connor Eaton showing everything in his arsenal there and putting a really nice pitch on the inner half for the first out of the inning.
His first strikeout. And now goes back to the top.
You mentioned YD, 47 runs through 7 games. That's just under 7 runs a game. Orleans hasn't scored 7 runs in a game this season. Pinch hitter, it's Enzo Apodaca, as Jacob Jenkins-Cowart no longer batting.
The man's hometown from Scottsdale, right where Sammy and I are from.
Well,
Or go to school, I should say.
don't forget your roots here, Dylan. Connecticut through and through.
3 years over in Arizona, you know, I start getting a little bit homey, I would say, over there.
Despite the heat, Eaton still throwing it. Nice pitch in the dirt. Breaks down towards the plate. 1-2. Apodaca, a West Coast kid through and through. Grew up in Arizona, plays his college ball at Gonzaga. Strike 3 looking again. You know, there are definitely positives you can take away from every game, and over the last few games, we've seen some relievers late in ball games do wonders. Last night it was Danny Carrion at UC Davis. Tonight, it's been Connor Eaton in the last 2 frames.
Exactly. 2 straight strikeouts for Eaton.
Trying to make it 3 in a row, sending Max Vieira out of the box at a pitch at his feet for ball 1. Vieira, 3 for 4 tonight with 3 singles. One of the best contact bats in the Cape. Came into tonight hitting .430, and that average is only going to go up with a rocket to right. 4th straight hit. All 8 games with a hit.
And now YD. Pulling a little bit of interesting move here. A George Mason man in Connor Dykstra against a George Mason pitcher in Connor Eaton.
A lot of George Mason around the Cape after the great season that the Patriots put together. Who wins the battle? Probably something these two could talk about all year long.
Oh, this is for bragging rights, 100%.
Best summer ball league in the country. One of the better teams in the country this season. A memorable year for both these guys. 2-1.
Whoever wins this battle, we know there's going to be some text messages sent after this game. However, will it be by Eaton, who takes Dykstra, or Dykstra, who beats Eaton? Now that's the question.
Both guys with good flow, too. Maybe they just do it different down there at George Mason. Connor Eaton, the blonde hair out of the hat. Dykstra, the blonde hair out of the helmet. The Canadian Dykstra. Fouls a pitch away, 2-2. Started his collegiate career at Galveston in Texas before transferring to George Mason in Fairfax, Virginia, where he's been the last couple seasons. Hit .291 for the Pats in the spring. 48 runs batted in. And a .945 OPS. Eaton once again tosses the Hall back. Tying Vieira close to the bag. The bugs swirling around Eldredge on a 60-degree evening. Breaking ball right by the face of Dykstra.
You know, the weather hasn't cooperated really so far this season, and it's only gotten colder. Thought it was supposed to get warmer as we get into summer in.
Yeah, Cape Cod, for all it's pumped up to be over these first few weeks, hasn't shown off all of its charm weather-wise as Eaton throws so hard the hat falls off the hair with the headband underneath it. Full
That's
count.
a move. Love the headband. Huge fan of the headband.
You personally have toyed around with the idea of wearing one yourself, which I think would, I have an opinion on that. I won't share it.
I'm a huge fan of the headband. That's all I got to say.
The payoff. Ball 4. Checking with the first base umpire, Ryan DeMare. But Dykstra did not go. And in a battle with George Mason, Dykstra wins it and reaches.
Probably not the result that either player wanted. Dykstra definitely wanted to at least get a hit off him. Eaton definitely didn't want to walk him.
Anticlimactic. YD trying to provide some late fireworks and add some insurance runs, already up 3. Well on its way to rebounding after a 4-4 tie yesterday against Falmouth. These two will see plenty of each other this summer. The first of 6 tests between Scott Pickler and Kelly Nicholson's teams. But next comes this weekend. Sunday at Yarmouth-Dennis.
Home of?
The Donut Burger.
The Donut Burger. Ian, I know you've been excited to try it.
2 on 2 out. The answer is yes, Dylan. Our producer, Will Lundgren, he might be even more excited.
You know, we've heard mixed reviews about it. However, I heard there is a glazed donut burger and then a Boston cream donut burger. Now that is something I will be eating.
Oh, so now you're pro Donut Burger.
I'm pro donut burger when there's a Boston cream donut involved, I'll tell you that.
High fly left field. Eddie King makes the catch and leaves 2 base runners stranded for Yarmouth-Dennis. A donut on the board in the top of the 9th for the Red Sox.
Give you that one.
Thank you. Provided by Connor Eaton. Buck and Orleans provide the offense. One last shot. 4-1 game. Firebirds trying to survive, trying to thrive in the bottom of the 9th. We'll be right back on the Birds Broadcast Network.
What Cape home design will you dream up? For over 16 years, Cape Dreams Building and Design has specialized in building custom homes for clients across Cape Cod. Our core values of honesty, integrity, and quality work are what separates us from other Cape builders and help us make your dreams of your next new home a reality. From new construction to additions and renovations, contact Cape Dreams today or visit our website at capedreamsbd.com.
Yarmouth-Dennis 3 outs away from win number 5 on the young season. Orleans, a 4-game losing streak. Could become 5. Dylan, not a lot of cracks in the armor of Finley through 4 scoreless frames. Is there anything that can be exploited?
Nothing so far. I mean, only 2 hits allowed, and his curveball has been really good. His control has been excellent. No walks, and only 2 on the day for YD. If anything, something that Orleans has done really well is the running game so far, but you need guys on. So if they can find a way, they got to find a way to get 2 guys on, and then the tying run would come to the plate. But if I'm Halbach or if I'm Oyama on deck or whoever is coming up, it's hunt the fastball and the curveball that's been dying into the dirt. Let it go. Hit the heater. Easier to say it than it is to do it.
5th inning for Leighton Finley, and he faces the 5th man of the order to get things going in the bottom of the 9th. Matt Hallback was productive last night, reaching base all 4 times in the loss to Harwich, but tonight he has yet to reach. But there's a well-hit ball that drops into left field and drops into the glove of Apodaca. You think Austin Overn's good in center. Enzo Apodaca says, I'll do you one better, with a great grab that steals a base leadoff base hit from Matt Hallback.
Another good piece of contact from Hallback. Last time up, flew out to right with a good swing. This time, same thing. This time to center.
One of the lone bright spots today for Orleans has been the play of a man in the left-handed batter's box, Joe Oyama. Doubled back in the 2nd inning and scored on a Drew Farreau single to right. 2 hits tonight. He singled his last time up. Jake Casey has grabbed the bat and is in the hole. Eddie King on deck. bopped the opposite way and fell. 2-1 to the 5'7", 150-pound Oyama. A fun story. Originally from Japan. Came to the States to play JUCO ball at Merced College a few years back. Spent 3 years of a JUCO level. Hit over 350. And translated that to the Big West, where he was an all-league selection in the spring. Battling out against a couple of his collegiate teammates tonight who play for YD. An even 2-2 count. Finley gets a weak grounder out of him. It dribbles down the line, and Finley knows it dribbles foul.
Oh, man, what a great play by Finley. It looked like a single all the way from Oyama, but just got the bad end of the bat. Dribbles foul, and Finley does a good job of being patient and waiting on it.
Finley, he knows his baseball. His brother, Jackson, pitches for Georgia Tech. He's a monster in high school. At a Richmond Hill High, and Georgia decided to stay in-state, play for the Bulldogs. Maybe known for as more of a football school, but with a guy like this on your team, bright days ahead. He's 2 outs away from 5 scoreless innings out of a bullpen. But Oyama's going to make him earn these final 2. Counts full.
If Oyama can get on, it'd be big. Get some momentum going for these Firebirds.
The payoff pitch in play before it's not. It drifts foul and out of play. Eddie King Jr. on deck. He has gone 0 for 3 tonight. The big hitting lefty, Jake Casey, in the hole behind him. Another foul ball and another great at bat from Oyama.
He'll battle up there. He'll give it his all. It's not, as you said, Ian, not an easy out. Finley's going to have to make a great pitch to get him out.
Co-MVP of the West Coast League last year for a reason. Because he knows the zone and he knows how to get on base. It's the 3rd time Joe Oyama has reached tonight. Joey Cooper says, you used your head there. Points to the helmet. And keeps Orleans alive with a 1-out walk in the bottom of the 9th.
And that might do it for Finley.
First walk handed out by Finley in 4 1/3 out of a bullpen. He gets a visit on the mound. And there is an arm trotting in from the bullpen in left field. Not much more that Finley could have done, and now he is done. You'll find out who the new arm is. He's waiting. He's smiling. He's backing away. Sawyer Hawks doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk. The pump fake. Hawks flying away. He goes to Air Force. There's a pun there.
Or just the hawk fly. Now
Oh.
he's coming in.
A long talking to. But in the end, 4 1/3 done. And a new pitcher in the game. Leighton Finley did not give up a run, but he leaves with Joe Oyama still on the base paths. Sawyer Hawks is the man who Coach Scott Pickler hopes can send his team home with win number 5 on the year. You'll find out if he can do that or if Orleans can battle back after a quick break here in the bottom of the 9th on the Birds Broadcast Network.
What Cape home design will you dream up? For over 16 years, Cape Dreams Building and Design has specialized in building custom homes for clients across Cape Cod. Our core values of honesty, integrity, and quality work are what separates us from other Cape builders and help us make your dreams of your next new home a reality. From new construction to additions and renovations, contact Cape Dreams today or visit our website at capedreamsbd.com.
Bottom of the ninth from Orleans. Sawyer Hawks, the Air Force arm, currently in the transfer portal after a sub-3 ERA with the Military Academy in the spring. Trying to make sure the Orleans bats stay grounded with a runner on and one out in the bottom of the ninth. Joe Oyama on first as his walk ends 4 1/3 out of a bullpen for the Georgia kid. Eddie King Jr. trying to get back on track offensively. 0 for 3 tonight without a hit for the Firebirds since his cue ball single over a week ago at Hyannis to open up the season. He takes his strike 0-1. King 0 for his last 10 from the plate. 2 strikeouts tonight, but this is blasted deep into the night sky in the left field and snagged in left center. Out number 2. King retired on 2 pitches. And Orleans down to its final out.
I believe they were going to bring up Jake Casey if King could find his way on base. Maybe a little pinch hit trying for the game-tying home run, but now they'll leave it in the hands of Henry Hunter, and if he gets on base, then Casey would hit for Farrell.
Henry Hunter, 0 for 3 tonight, came into the evening with the highest batting average on this Orleans Firebirds offense at 3 for 9, but that's now dipped to 250 with an 0 for 3 performance tonight. Strikeout, ground out to short. Lefty on righty as Hawks gets a whiff. 1-1. Oyama still parked at first. Scored the lone run for Orleans today in the second inning after he doubled. He's reached 3 times tonight. Nicholson with a come on Henry from the dugout. A lot of trust in the UAB product. Oyama on the move. King doesn't bother throwing. A runner in scoring position for the Firebirds. They need a little bit more than that. Down 3 runs. 3 balls and a strike. Hawk steps off for rubber and right back on. Trying to avoid a Connor Eaton situation. No balk there. Here's the pitch. And there's a walk. Henry Hunter did not go. Back-to-back walks off 2 different pitchers. In Orleans, officially in business with the tying run at the plate. And who better than the powerful left-handed hitter, Jake Casey. Hit a home run just over a week ago against Harwich. Orleans has not hit a home run since and needs that right now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Breaking ball from Hawks, strike 1.
Man, would it be big if Casey could lift one out of here?
12 home runs as a freshman, or I should say as a sophomore, with Kent State in spring. Oyama off second, Hunter off first. Now 0-2. Sawyer Hawks hands out a free pass to Hunter, but a strike away from silencing Orleans on the verge of its 5th straight loss. The 0-2 blocked up by King for ball 1.
Got to look for the fastball. The curveball's been there. He's looking for the fastball and just put a good swing on it. Get the barrel to it.
If Casey cannot extend this game, Orleans tries to get back at it on the road tomorrow against Falmouth. And that's exactly what Orleans will look toward. Sawyer Hawks gets 2 big outs. Orleans with a little bit of life at the end after walks from Joe Oyama and Henry Hunter. But as has been the theme over the past couple games, some commotion on the base paths but not enough coming home. 4-1 the final. Yarmouth-Dennis and Scott Pickler get the better of Kelly Nicholson and Orleans here from Eldredge. Firebirds drop to 2-6 on the year. It's loss number 5 in a row. Yarmouth-Dennis, on the other hand, improving to 5-2-1. We send it over to Sammy Miller, who's with one of the lone bright spots of the game for Orleans, Joe Oyama.
I'm now joined alongside UCI second baseman Joe Oyama. Joe, you had a beautiful double and a run. What were you seeing at the plate tonight?
I mean, I'm trying to do my best, control what I can control. I was kind of struggling my first 2 games, so, trying to stick to my approach and see what's going to happen.
You also showcased your speed tonight as well. What were you seeing on the defensive end of the game?
I mean, speed is one of my, tools, so I want to show my speed as much as possible. So, that's my, game style too. So.
And in the Cape Cod League, there's some of the best pitchers in the entire country. So what have you learned so far in the few games out here?
Definitely we face some of the best pitchers in the country. So I try, chalk up my bat and trying to, do my best against them, stuff.
And what type of changes do you think that your team needs to make to try to get a win tomorrow?
Well, it's baseball, so just stick to our plan and just keep energy and then, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much and good luck tomorrow, Joe.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Sammy. Sending it not to the booth, but
Perfect.
to the sideline.
Really appreciate it.
Dylan Pescatore and Nicholas here after a 4-1 loss. Orleans drops its 5th in a row and now 2-6 on the year. That's baseball, right? It's difficult at times, especially offensively, especially in a wood bat league. Joe Oyama was able to overcome that tonight, but the rest of his teammates, unfortunately, not so much.
That's right, and it's tough sledding right now for the Firebirds. That's all you can say, especially offensively. 11, 12 strikeouts again tonight, 14 yesterday. They got to find a way to break out of this funk, and it's by cutting down on swings, somehow getting some lucky breaks, because right now, what type of game, what type of feeling do they need? They need some type of offensive support. The pitching's been good. The pitching was good again tonight. Jake Peppers was good. Jonathan Gonzalez was good. Connor Eaton was really good. However, the offense couldn't bail them out and couldn't put out 4 or even 5. They haven't done that in a little while.
Here on Cooling Down on the Birds Broadcast Network, brought to you by Mazzio Construction. Do you think the issues that plagued Orleans from the plate tonight similar to the issues that plagued them last night, or was it a new set of problems that was brought on by YD?
No, same thing. I mean, YD's pitching as good as Harwich. Both guys who are going to the draft in terms of the starting pitching. And it was a lot of missed opportunities with runners in scoring position. Maybe not as many runners as yesterday. Orleans couldn't muster up that many runners on the base paths. However, when they did, they couldn't do anything with it. That's been the story of the season so far.
Story of the season will continue tomorrow at Falmouth, a long road trip and a West Division foe for Orleans. What is the one big takeaway that you hope to have by the end of the game tomorrow?
Well, Evan Truitt will be the starter. Or check that, Dylan Jacobs will be the starter tomorrow. And I really liked what I saw out of him against Chatham last week, the lefty out of Stetson. Really think he can come in 4-5 innings of great baseball. The offense has had the chance, and the pitching's been good and given them the chance to kind of break out. I hope tomorrow will be that day.
Tomorrow could be that day, but as Joe Oyama said, it's baseball. You never know what's going to happen. Joe Oyama has his best game as a Firebird, but unfortunately it comes in a 4-1 loss to the Red Sox. Red Sox improved to 5-2-1 on the year and now have sole possession of first place in the East Division after a tie tonight from Brewster. Meanwhile, Orleans still sits at 5th in the division with its 5th straight loss. 2-6 are the Firebirds through 8 games. Game number 9 is tomorrow on the road against Falmouth. Make sure to tune in on the Birds Broadcast Network. You can find all of our live streams, home and road, right here on the Orleans Firebirds YouTube channel. And that's all we've got tonight on Cooling Down. For Dylan Pescatore and Sammy Miller, I'm Ian Nicholas. Shout out to our producer, Will Lundgren, and, of course, the PAC Network for everything they do. Have a great Monday night.